Hello, race fans, and welcome into the Blue Emu Battle 150s, the penultimate stage of this Carnomaly 500 journey that we started last week. David Schildhouse here, along with Landon Cassill and Parker Kligerman. Kim Kuhn will be joining us later on in the broadcast. Parker, last night we saw Valvoline Pole Day kick off, 88 drivers attempting to set the fastest time, and boy, we had to wait until the very end, and it was incredible to see Nick Ottinger set a blistering lap as the last car out.
He did. He made us all wait, kept us on our toes, kept all the competitors on their toes, and then set an absolute heater there at the end. A heater that I called, by the way, at a 38.597, if anyone's counting. The Predictor was a lot of fun. That was a really great show, and we started to see out of these top 88 who's really going to be bringing the speed, because some of that might transfer here into the Blue Emu Battle 150s. So now what we have ahead of us is all those drivers that didn't lock in, that weren't on the front row, are now trying to battle their way into the Carnomaly 500. Only top 20 will advance from each of these races, so this is going to be very intense, Landon.
Yeah, we've made it this far. It was it was a wild stages of events going from prelims to qualifying. Nick Ottinger, though, coming out with the pole yesterday after Valvoline Pole Day and taking the WITS $15,000 last to first challenge. So Nick Ottinger, he's throwing himself to the wolves. He's going last place, has to win it for $15,000, a total of $18,000 he could walk away with. But tonight, we're focused on the top 20 of each of these Blue Emu Battle 150s. And Blue Emu, right on board with me tonight. Yep, you had your Valvoline last night. I've got my Blue Emu Max Pain Relief Cream because I'm kind of sitting on a stool here. I think my back might be a little tired by the end of the night. And Blue Emu also doing a great giveaway over in the chat. If you type in !battle scars, and it'll send you over to their Twitter. They're going to give away some care package, and then we'll also give away a care package later to a driver that probably needs to recover from some battle scars tonight.
There'll definitely be a couple wounds to lick tonight.
Absolutely. Well, we got two 150-mile races on tap for tonight. Let's take a look at the keys to the race. Parker will start with the first two here. Built for comfort or built for speed? What does that mean?
Well, I was going to jump in this, but Landon, can you just explain this one real quick, the first one?
Yeah, well, hey, it is what it says. Did you build your car for comfort or did you build it for speed? These are open setups. These cars are fast. They go 243 miles an hour I've seen in the draft with these open sets. But there's a couple different approaches. You can go with a traditional rear spring setup, right rear spring somewhere in the 600 to 800 range. You can run your heights at max height or minimum heights, or you can go aggressive with a right rear coil bind setup, get a lot of speed out of it, but you're going to abuse the right rear tire. Your car is going to be hard to drive on a long run. Short turnaround for qualifying too, Parker. This one I think is important and might go unnoticed, but you're going to see it with cars on the racetrack, drivers struggling. We spent a week working on qualifying setups. Drivers were really focused, trying to give themselves a shot at the pole to advance without having to run the Blue Emu Battle 150s. And then we had a 24-hour turnaround to these Blue Emu Battle 150s. Very short turnaround, not a lot of practice for these drivers to get their cars dialed in tonight.
Right, and then are the front row qualifiers missing out? What we mean by that is they're not getting that chance to race with all these other competitors and work on that race setup. So if you're one of the competitors that didn't make it, obviously, out of the qualifying on the front row, then you're getting the chance to use this setup, see what works and what doesn't work, use the things that maybe those other drivers, those two that are not going to be in this, are not going to find out. So could this be your advantage? If you were able to advance through and maybe finish or win one of your Blue Emu Battle 150s, then you might be in a better position than that front row. And then race your way in or miss the crashes. Race your way in means, hey, do you want to get to the front? You want to lead laps, be aggressive, find yourself constantly in the top 20? Or are you going to be a driver that hangs out the back, tries to miss these wrecks, and then finds himself in the top 20 when it matters at the end? That's the strategies we'll see on hand here tonight. And really, no strategy is right. As we always say in super speedway racing, there's no correct way to do it. It's whatever works for you, but this is going to be really interesting to see how these drivers decide to go about their strategy here tonight.
Well, that's a good point that you raised, Parker.
That is a great. I want to get to that real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think that if you go into this race and you're not sure what your strategy is, then you're going to default to just falling back and staying safe. because these super speedway races, there's so much risk at stake. Your car is at risk. Your entire everything you've worked for in the last 3 weeks is at risk. If you don't have the confidence to say, I'm driving to the front, my setup feels good, and I know I can get this thing in the top 10 and get transferred, top 20 and get transferred. If you don't have that confidence, you're just falling back.
I've talked with a few drivers that are going to be in the races tonight, both the first and second sessions. I've talked with drivers from both, and I've gotten answers all across the spectrum of what the strategy is going to be. Guys who we've seen qualify towards the sharp end of the pylon here, up towards the top. Guys who are in the back who maybe didn't have as good of a qualifying run, and everybody's strategy when they take the green flag is one thing. The strategy that you go with by the time that white flag flies is going to be something completely different, and ultimately, if you make it into the top 20, your strategy was the right one. And if you didn't, it probably wasn't, or just some bad luck. And that happens too when you're going 240 miles an hour around Daytona. And I'll say for the two front row drivers who aren't participating in the race tonight, I think they're at a disadvantage personally. Because track time is track time. You don't get a whole lot of it. You might be able to organize a group of your friends together to go do a pack run of 5 or 10 cars, but that's different than 40-something cars on track and a long-distance race. And any seat time that you can get, I think, is valuable, especially for something like this. We don't doubt their speed, but what are they missing out on experience-wise each lap of the run as you go on? You're just trying to build that bank of knowledge for these races, and I think they're missing out on that to a high degree, Parker.
Yeah, I think so as well. So that's going to be something that they're going to have to find, to work with their teammates and their friends out there to go out and run some laps and run, long runs and see what, they find in those, but they're just not going to get that real racing experience. Now, they'll have friends and teammates in this race. They're watching this broadcast along with you on the chat who love hearing me say emu, I guess, because I can't say it appropriately. But they're going to be watching this as well because they want to see how these drivers race, how this track races, how these setups race. This is a huge unknown. I saw Brian Blackford say earlier today, there's no one that's really probably ever run a 500-mile race like we're going to do in the Carnomaly 500 next week in this exact package. So there's just so many unknowns. For sim racing, normally we don't have that. Everything's factored, everything's figured out. But here tonight and next week for the Carnomaly 500, I don't know. There's a lot that people just haven't experienced before.
Yeah, we love those unknowns. I mean, hey, if you think we've got unknowns, but if you think we've got a game for you to play because eRacr has a predictor. This is like a fantasy game that you can play right on the screen if you're at your desktop, if you're at mobile. Log onto your computer, move over to your desktop, grab your laptop or something if you have one, and check in. It's on the right side of the screen. If you hover over, you'll see the little E. If you click on it, open it up, and check in, authenticate your Twitch account, and we're going to play a little game. We'll predict the top 5 finishers in any order. If you pick the winner, you'll also pick a winner. You're going to score points based on how well you do with those predictions, but also if you pick those drivers early and leave those drivers in, you'll score more points. If your drivers crash out of the race and you need to reselect new drivers, you can do that at any point in the race. You can do it on the last lap if you wanted. You just won't score as many points. And we're going to also throw in a few fun questions in there every once in a while.
Right. They get chances to win more prizes with some predictors that will come up. They're prompts, basically, so keep that thing up. At times, we'll let you know. You'll see it on the broadcast as well when those prompts come up. It might be anything like who's going to lead the next lap to who's the best looking in the booth or, just some sort of assortment like that. So be sure to look out for the prompts. That's the way to get more points there. And obviously the top 3 tonight will get prizes. And then at the end of this whole event, at the end of the Carnomaly 500, we'll take the top 10, do more prizes. And if you just play it and check in, you're going to be part of a giveaway as well for more prizes. So there's just all sorts of prizes. Basically, just play it.
So recapping all the prizes, we've got Blue Emu, we've got Predictor prizes, we've got vaccine we're giving away, we got all kinds of stuff. But let's talk about the weather, Parker.
Yes, the weather. Air temp, 64 degrees. Track temp, 67. This is a chillier night than we've seen in qualifying. There should be a lot of grip. And one of the things I'm looking forward to is if that second lane comes in, even just a little bit. We know it's tough to make it happen. It's tough to work in these cars. But when it's cooler temps, we saw in the fixed setup, there was an outside groove. You could use it, especially as the tires wore off. So I'm looking forward to that cooler temps to see maybe that outside groove come in and allow side-by-side racing. If it doesn't, this could be really interesting because you can get people very loose on the bottom, Landon.
You said earlier we were talking about it, and you said this could end up looking like Bristol, but at 230 miles an hour.
That would be awesome. David, you remember old Bristol?
I remember it very fondly. Yes.
Well, that's what we might be seeing if it is all in the bottom groove. I think we could be seeing old Bristol, just as Landon said, at 230 miles an hour. What would be cooler than that?
Not a whole lot that I could think. I mean, yeah, when I first started watching NASCAR in the mid '90s, I remember many good Bristol races around the bottom where the front bumper was your ticket to the front. But you know, Daytona, I don't think we're gonna see the bump and run here in these cars at these speeds. But the bottom is very important. But
we don't think we'll see the bump and run. I had a couple of those in practice races.
Yeah, it was practice races though.
That's true. That's a good point. Good.
You don't want to put the bump and run to somebody in a race like this, do you? Unless it's for 20th on the last lap.
Let's see what the chat has to say. If you think you can do the bump and run, just give me a bump and run in the chat.
do we have a bump and run emote or something like that? I know we saw Blue Emu was in the chat a little earlier.
Uh-oh.
If you're a subscriber of my channel, go ahead and post the Bluebird in the chat. Represent.
You know
I think with these speeds, it wouldn't be a bump and run; it'd be the dump and run.
you don't even have to bump. I mean, it just sucks the air right off their spoiler if you get too close on corner entry.
That is true. I think we could see it. It's possible to start bumping people. So as we get this great shot of all the competitors here on pit road, by the way, see all these cars, a lot of the same paint teams we saw in the top 88 qualifying last night. Just love the creativity of so many of these paint schemes. There was a couple we saw on Twitter after last night that we gave some shout outs to, and even sponsors that we gave shout outs to get big Google searches. So that was cool to see. I just love to see people, put that creativity into an eRacr event, bringing their A game on the schemes. Some pretty cars.
Absolutely. Good looking field of cars and a great field of drivers. We were doing the calculations to get a strength of field because people like to know what the strength of field is for these types of races. Last I saw, if my memory serves me correctly, Blue Emu Battle 150 number 1, strength of field 5,400.
Oh.
Whoa.
What split would that make on a official
Definitely
race?
top split.
Super top split.
Yeah, this is a serious top split.
So the question is, can you finish top 20 in a top split race? Open setup top split.
Well, I'm not a good setup guy, so that's tough.
That's a tall order. That's a tall order for a lot of drivers, but inevitably, only 20 are going to move on from the 43 starters. But I mean, when you have a strength of field of 5,400 or 5,200, whichever one this one is, one's 5,400, one's 5,200. But either way, they're both over 5K, which is impressive.
Let's get the predictor going. We're gonna be going to green here pretty soon. What do you guys think? Let's get your picks in. So many good drivers. I don't know who to pick.
This is a hard one. Remember, you only have to pick basically you get to pick 5 drivers. The order doesn't matter. The only one you're trying to guess their actual position is the winner. The other 5, you're just trying to see if they finish in the top 5. So pick accordingly.
We've got a little bit of time here. It looks like we're gonna got a couple pace laps. Blue Emu.
Oh, they're in here. I knew that. I was gonna say when they entered the chat, you know what that means.
That's a big sub giveaway. 50 gifted subs from Blue Emu. Thank you very much for that. If you got a gifted sub from Blue Emu, make sure you say thank you in chat for their generosity, their support. None of this happens without them and their great support. It's great partners like them that allow us to do what we do, and very, very appreciative. So thank you for that.
It's awesome to see. Love it.
More, thank you. That's awesome. All right, so we got an extra pace lap here. Get a look. Take a look at the board. See what you think. This is for the top 5.
Yep, just trying to get to top 5.
Let's take a look at the starting lineup here. You can see them on the scoring pylon on the left-hand side of your screen. Field's going to be led to the green flag by Richmond Raceway Esports' own Jimmy Mullis. To his outside, the mouth from the south, our own Blake McCandless put down a heater yesterday. He'll line up in P2. Matt Busso, Ray Alfala in row number 2. Colin Bowden, Marcus Ruckman in row 3. Braden Hayes Cattell and Josh Parker in row 4. Briar LaPrade and Kane Cook round out the top 10, Parker. Got Jake Nichols, John Gorlinski, Tucker Minter, Spencer E. Burns back there in 14th. Adam Benefield, Michael Cozy Jr. in 16th. Chandler Parsons, Adam Gillen, Santiago Tires, Michael P. Frisch there in the top 20.
Great field lined up here.
Remember,
60
top
laps.
20 advance.
Top 20 advance, so pretty much everything on the board. You can see the Trans-Service transfer spot right there on the board. And how many times, I think we have our first prediction of the night. How many times will Landon say Blue Emu today? Once, twice, too many. Too many to what?
Too many to count.
Hey, you can't say Blue Emu too many times when they're the sponsor of the race.
What do you think?
Blue Emu said 147 times in the chat. I picked too many to count.
I guess too many to count. Hey, that's an easy 75 points for everyone. There you go.
Easy.
You all got
Got
your
up for a win
point.
here tonight. Love to
Nice.
see it.
Nice.
Let's go over the rest of the field. 21st on back is going to be Daniel Roper in 21st, Landon Huffman in 22nd, Jesse Kaplan, Mike Rasmus in 24th, James D. Gibson, Will Rogers back there in row 13, Stephen Norman, Anthony Burrows in row 14, Adam Cabot, Aaron Smith Jr. in Adam Smith II rather in row 15, Aaron McEachern, Pontiac Kid along with Brad Slaughter Jr. in row 16, Andrew Player, Alonzo Morales, Caden Rush, Christian Sanford, Dylan Kem, Byron Daly, John Weitendorf, Matthew Stallneck, Zach Novak, Zane Scott, and Malik Ray, the most exciting man on Super Speedway, back there shotgun on the field for this 60-lap, 150-mile race. It is time to get going as the field works through the banking of 3 and 4 for the last time. Woo, I'm excited. Let's go.
Let's
Parker,
do it,
I hope you
guys.
got the energy.
I do. Let's go.
I mean, it's gonna be 240 by the time we get to the other side of the racetrack. Let's go.
Green flag in the air. Blue Emu Battle number 1 is underway. Jimmy Wallace, Blake McCandless, first time. Who's going to get the better run? McCandless getting a good shove from behind from Alfala. Inside lane, Matt Booth is inside line. Get to the back bumper of Wallace.
How long do you want to stay out there, though? We've talked about it in the fixed setup times. It really abuses those tires. It's no different now. It really hurts those tires, but you can probably push pretty hard on those tires, a couple laps, and then you've got to find yourself settled in position and start taking care of them. Otherwise, you will overheat them.
Looks like it's just a single car spin off of 2, but they're still green. 5 looks like
That was Matt
Stallneck.
Stallneck. Yep, Stallneck went around. You stay green, he gathers it up and is on his way. It's a, mostly single file.
Trying to get something, really.
Right.
If you're Stallneck, though, I mean, a spin on the first lap is not fun, but this could save him from something if there's a big wreck all of a sudden.
It's less
They
than
weren't single
ideal.
file there. They were 3 wide there. That's Brandon Hayes Cattell. Big aggressive move to the bottom into 3, looking for 3rd underneath Mullis.
And, you know, I got to revisit. Oh, let's take a look at what happened to Stallneck here off of 2. Oh, looks like he just got either
Went
loose or
around.
had some contact behind him and went right around. Just a nice little rejoin, though. Not too bad. I got to tell you, we focus so much on this prelim nights. We're on lap 3 right now, okay? I'm focusing on lap 4, lap 5. I think that's about the time we're going to see some drivers start overshooting the corner, hit the fence, getting loose. I mean, that's lap 4, lap 5 is when the tires just completely go over a cliff, especially at these high speeds.
We're seeing them really try to slot into single file at the front. There's still some side-by-side throughout the pack, but they're getting down. They're trying to be smart about it, right? Take care of those tires a little bit, and then it's sort of like a game of just picking people off one by one, and you're going to start moving them out of the groove. When you get really tight to the rear bumper, you keep them that little bit loose, and that just sort of gets them out of the groove. That gives you the chance to get to the inside. Once you're there, they have to really fight and defend you off. I think this is going to get pretty interesting as we get later and later in the run here. Pretty clean so far. And once I've said that, I've probably
It did in a road at a prelim night, but I mean, remember, there's no resets tonight. There's no resets. You got one car. This is like real racing. Oh, Daniel Roper. A little move on, it looked like Landon Huffman, and he's getting the freight train now, going backwards. He's going to have to slot in behind the 68.
This is Bristol. This is old Bristol. 230 miles an hour, guys.
Have you ever thought of Bristol at 230 miles an hour?
No, but we're seeing it now. This is awesome. Look at that. We're constantly seeing cars get right to the rear bumper, get them loose, move them out of the way. This is pretty awesome.
Pole sitter there, Jimmy Mullis, falling back to the 6th position right now. So Mullis has given up a few spots here as they've gone mostly single file. Blake McCandless leading the field, and we were all amped about Blake's qualifying run yesterday. He talked up a big game, and he put it up. Parker, you can't drink on a broadcast. What do you think this is?
Oh, on camera.
We've got another predictor, Dave. Will the race stay green for 10 laps? Well, we just saw a car catch the fence. See any trouble back there?
75 points and feeling good about it.
That was the 81 of Josh Parker, who's now going backwards, a little right side damage. 75 points. We're going to stay green for 10 laps or not?
Let's see.
I think we will.
I think
we're going to give it like 10 more seconds. Get your votes in here. Well, not really votes. Get your predictions. Points.
Yeah, you can wait to the last second.
Yeah. Last second here.
Shaking. And we'll see. So when we get to 10, we'll click over the right, whether you have the right answer or not. So we're a couple laps away.
Looking at a side-by-side battle here.
Game.
Around that 7th position, that's Jimmy Mullis losing more spots up on the high side. Just got bypassed by Marcus Ruckman. Kane Cook goes by. Now here comes Spencer Burns to the inside of Mullis, bringing Michael Cozy Jr. with him as well. So now Jimmy Mullis, again, started on pole, has fallen back outside the top 10.
And Blake McCandless slows by Ray Alfalo there. He moved him out of the groove, shoved him up out the lead. He falls all the way back to 4th place, couldn't slot into the bottom. So this is going to get intense. And so here's the other thing, right? So when you're the leader, what I love about these cars, what we've experienced, is then you get a lot of air on that front nose as we're looking at these two. That Brandon Cattell going to the inside. He's going to get to 2nd place. When you get to the lead, they just get super loose because you get all that air. So do you build yourself to be more in the pack, be running behind people, or do you build it more to be leading? We'll see what Ray Alfalo has as we get further in these laps.
Comes another move. Jake Nichols now going to look to the insides. We have our first caution on lap number 9.
Oh, there it is.
No.
And that's going to be out of turn 4. Dylan Kem getting contact from behind from Christian Sanford out of turn 4. And it looks like, yeah, that's out of turn 4 again. The 999, Parker, you were talking about, you hated his number placement yesterday.
I want to be mean. I just I thought it was an interesting assortment of numbers there. So, but I did like the Everman numbers. That was cool.
We'll see on the replay when this comes up, but as I'm looking at this right now, I'll get your guys' take on this. I know what I see, but I want the driver's perspective on what you see here when we get this. But it's Kem who gets the worst end of this deal. And, I mean, he was already running back outside the top 35, so he's not going to lose a whole lot of spots, but he's got damage.
All right, let's take a look. Off of 4, just... I mean, Parker, David, I'm just seeing a car that's really loose off the corner. And the banking goes away so fast. I mean, both of those cars are out of control. Racing incident to me.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you what. Go ahead, Parker.
Well, what I was going to say is, you know, these cars, if we're getting a look at it. Oh, so yes. So your 9 or 999 there was very loose, and that means he probably had to pedal it a little bit out of the corner. The 28 then gets a big run, thinking maybe I can turn it down. You can't do that because he'll lose the rear, and so it's just 2 cars sort of meet in the middle there. But that's definitely one of the racing incidents here.
But what I see, just looking at the telemetry for DK coming out of the corner, he cuts a lot of speed as he gets to corner exit. He slows down to about 207 from 212 to 213.
Predictor wants to know what you think Ray Alfalo is going to do. 4 tires, 2 tires, fuel only, no pit stop. Well, he's obviously pitting now, so. 5 seconds. What's Ray gonna do? Is he gonna take 2, keep his track position? We've only got 8 laps on our tires.
Slides in
Did
the
we
box.
predict him slide through his box? He's right on the line. Looks like the crew is working on the car.
Right side went up. Was the left side? Yes. He's going to be 4 tires.
4
Thank
tires.
you for the 75 points. I'll take that one into the bank.
Got it.
Count it. That was an easy one. Oh, no, we got a little trouble on pit road, guys.
Look at that.
No.
Landon Huffman out in the grass.
How'd you get out there, Landon?
Oh, come
No.
on, Landon.
I'll give you one guess. It starts in
wow.
ends with too much throttle.
He got out of the pit box too hard.
Yeah.
He gave it
Let's
all
take a
the
look.
gas. Oh,
Yikes.
no!
There. Oh.
Right into the path of Caden Rush and Aaron Smith. Neither of them hit him, thankfully.
Big thank you to the way iRacing designs pit road, where you can drive through the other cars. Quite useful in simulation, if I do say so myself. I would say that is one thing we don't need to simulate, is having to avoid people on pit road. Because it's a racing sim, it's not a pitting sim. So
There you go. We almost hit the 10-lap mark without a caution. So unfortunate for those who thought we would. I mean, it appeared that we were going to be, and that was kind of a weird caution, just how much speed DK cut coming out of the corner. I think it definitely caught Christian Sanford off guard. He just, why would you expect that, right? Why would you expect a car to just drop 5 miles an hour coming out of the corner like that when there was no, didn't really look like he was getting loose either. So just one of them.
But that slide is what we're going to see throughout this night and in the Carnomaly 500. That slide is so typical of these cars because you're going so fast, the corner tightens up on the exit, and it just does a 4-wheel slide. Like you're not loose, you're not tight, you're literally just sliding. Blue Emu just did another set of subs. Thank you, Blue Emu.
Yeah, I think that slide, Parker, probably started 3/4 of the way through the corner. It didn't happen on the straightaway there. He started probably got to the gas too early. The whole car started sliding, thought he could catch it, and finally had to lift late, almost by right where he did on the flat on the straightaway.
Well, we had our first trip down pit road, and for that, let's turn it over for the first time tonight to Kim Coon. Kim, what are you hearing down there?
Well, we saw most cars take 4 tires, which we expect that under caution, and if we continue to have caution throughout the night, we don't really expect anyone to stay out, and if they do come down pit road, they will take 4 tires in fuel. Fuel window tonight, low 30s, maybe even mid 30s they can hit, so we will definitely need to stop again, but it's Daytona, so we certainly will likely see more cautions tonight, which is a good thing, because pitting under green at Daytona is a very hard thing to do. We see guys mess it up all the time, so drivers can thank their lucky stars that luckily it will be probably a caution-filled night, and they won't have to pit here at Daytona under green.
Great
Thank you,
point.
Kim.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Kim.
Well, because think about this. How often have we pitted from over 230 miles an hour? You think getting up pit road is hard? Is we going to get the green here, David?
Yeah, it was. It's tough enough as it is. Now it accelerated hyper speeds of the going on Fallon. Leaves the field back to Green, Cassill, Hotman, Canvas. Behind him, single file for the first 3. They'll all fall to the bottom. There's Ruckman following in line. Matt Boost is going to be the first car up top with Bowden in tow behind him and Jake Nichols.
Single file a little quicker than we did for the start of the race. Now all jockeying for position down the backstretch. 3 wide right there.
Another caution here as we got
Caution is
Mike
back
Rasmus
out.
around out of turn 2. Mike Rasmussen, the Quaker State Buick around, but he wasn't the cause there. We had a car up in the wall. Adam Benefiel in the 083 kicks that off. He got way out of control up into the fence. And we saw that a lot last week. Landon of cars during the Consi and Prelim races. Cars entering high, getting up into the wall, and the field scattering behind them. And that's where the caution usually comes.
Yeah, and we're gonna see more of that. So let's see exactly what happened here. This one might have been a little bit more of a bobble, but a little bit late on the replay there. Really, this was a little bit more of a bobble, but what we're going to see more of is the cars are just going so much faster than they were on prelim night. So if you thought it was hard to kind of hold that top lane on entry, had to lift, it's gonna be even harder when you're going 240. Just trying to anticipate where he's going. That's unfortunate for Mike there. Tried to squeeze through the middle and just couldn't make it.
So tough. And the funny thing is, we see these cars actually have a easy time hitting the wall and getting away with it, right? We see this often in these cars throughout the last couple weeks where you can bounce off the wall, get away with it, but you do slow up, and for the cars that are oncoming, oh,
Yeah, just a bobble.
yeah.
I mean, it just doesn't take much.
Now, cold tires,
new
right? Fresh
tires-
tires, temperatures are down,
Well-
pressures are down. You don't have that security going to the corner.
Absolutely. And I mean, I ran some laps last night. If you can imagine, after 4 hours of broadcasting, I needed to know what it was going to be like going from Q trim to race trim. So I ran some laps. And what I found with my setup, which I had a pretty aggressive trimmed out setup that I worked on and I built myself. I lowered the air pressures in the tires, and I felt like I wanted to get the air pressures as low as I could, and the car hit the racetrack a little bit on a short run, and could stand it for 2 or 3 laps, thinking that I'm sacrificing the short run for the long run. So, you know, on a restart, I could see where that would happen, because if I was hustling in traffic on a restart early in the race, those low air pressures, my car's gonna, you know, it's gonna be a handful. It might be hitting the track a little bit, and an easy bobble could send you right into the fence.
Important to note, unlike what we've seen in previous events, last week's prelims and consi races, tonight, no quick repairs. The damage you got, you've got to fix. And if you can't get it fixed, that's what you're stuck with. And for Adam Benefiel, for Mike Rasmus, and others who've been caught up in wrecks tonight, not a good way to get your car looking in the first 15 laps.
No, and this is tough. So they're going to have to play the game of, if they have just enough damage, can they sit on pit road trying to beat the pace car? So they'll sit there for a little bit, fix as much of it as they can. Hopefully it's just enough to be able to keep up with the pack. So then you'll blast off pit road and you'll try it again. So it's that's a tough position to be in. But, you know, this is where we start to whittle it down in this sort of tournament that we got here. This is how these are designed. It gets harder and harder, because if you want to be a part of the best 43 in the Carnomaly 500, you just have to have everything go your way. And Landon, I think you're holding up Blue Emu, because did we just get more subs?
I guess I'm just gonna hold this up for 1 second for every sub that they give to the community. So is somebody get a stopwatch out? I think
Can you
that was
just
another
tape
20.
to your face or something at this point?
You can just wear
Right
it on
ahead.
top of
There
my
you go.
head
There's
as
a
a
hat.
I could put this one in my jacket.
There you go.
All right, so Parker had Valvoline stickers all over him yesterday, looking like a bulletin board at the office. And now we got Landon. He's going to slather himself in Blue Emu tonight.
On the stream. Oh man. I need a spoon, really. Anyways, let's get to. Look at Parker drinking a nice cold glass of Valvoline.
Yeah,
This
this always goes past with a good bit of racing.
Oh wait, that was.
Hey, that reminds me.
We did get the awesome-
Any luck on getting me with something to hold in my hands that resembles sponsorship product?
Do you want a Mark Martin bobblehead? Because you can still have that.
Play the predictor, David. Play the predictor.
I'm not
You might
eligible to
play one
win.
of these. Well, that's true. Yeah, you're not. So don't play the predictor. We'll get you something. It's the mail. The mail's been slow. Speaking of a mailman, by the way.
Nice
our man
segue.
Levy, right? Ray Alfal. It's his
That's
day
a quality segue.
job. Yeah. So,
I wonder how he feels about those new USPS delivery trucks that they were talking about the past couple days. You see that?
I did.
Social media loves them.
Yeah.
We're getting a thumbs down from Kim. Kim does not like.
Kim doesn't like them?
No, she's giving a thumbs down. So I mean, unless it's
Oh,
opposite day, that means she's not a fan.
Oh man.
I don't know.
Well-
they're retro futurist in my opinion, but as long as it delivers the mail, who cares, right? I don't know. Well, it's Alfala, it's Cassill, it's McCandless again. It's restart. Side by side behind them, the field scrambles to get back to single file. I think that's what they want to do. They just want to sit and ride again. A long way to go in this race. They showed the ability to get single file. It just takes a little time, find your hole where you can. But when you get a run, it's so hard to let go of a run you don't want to lift.
Not at all, as we're seeing them 2x2 down the backstretch with 3 leaders streaking away, but everyone else is trying to sort it out back there side by side, and that's sort of down the backstretch where you really want to be able to slot in. You do it, but sometimes you just can't get it in, and so now you're stuck on the outside having to fight for every inch to get to the bottom.
Amazing speed. I mean, I saw 233 on the backstretch, and that's just on the outlap. They're not even up to speed yet, really. Already 240, the leader. 242 into turn 3.
I think they even were 245. Oh, look at this battle!
Who's that? Chandler Parsons. That's Daniel Roper involved right there. There's Jesse Kaplan on the scene. Caden Rush is there as well. Good little scrap right around that 20th position. Chandler Parsons got some left rear damage as well, so somebody's been up into that quarter panel.
He was really loose when we shot to the camera there, showing him, so maybe he got a little tap in the left rear.
I'll tell you, it's not hard to find. You got to find the matching right front damage, right? And it belongs to Jesse Kaplan. The right front is all crushed in on his 0-2 iRacing.
A lot of walking too. You know, we don't have a yellow line rule, so we saw in the prelim nights cars going all over the racetrack below the yellow line. There's no yellow line rule, and I would imagine if it comes down to the Transervice transfer spot, they're going to take it. Use up all the racetrack.
Guys, I love listening. By the way, they sound like they're about to all blow up. How many RPM they're earning here at Daytona? We never hear that high pitch, that amount of RPM. Busting through. Oh no, we got one of the wall up to 2.
They're scrambling.
It's Tucker Minter out in the field, scrambles to get around him. It looks like for the time being, as they come up too wide behind him, that's where it gets tricky. That's Aaron McEachern who's going to have to check out of that and reduce his speed a little bit, but that was Tucker Minter up into the wall without further effect.
That was a great save, and I think when you see just those even little bit harder hits into the wall off, you know, middle of the corner, that sort of thing, you see the right side damage, that's not a game change, or that's not a game ender there, basically. You know, it's not game over to just get the right side of the wall. These cars are just incredibly durable. iRacing did an amazing job with these cars and sort of replicating back what we had when we had the COTs, where you could get away with that sort of thing, Landon. Sort of getting in the wall, bumping the fenders in. Yeah, aero places you really wanted that, but it's really interesting how much you can get away with these cars. So I think we can see cars save it when they get in the wall. Their night's still going to continue going.
Oh, Parker, I mean, do you remember? Wow, the cars.
Will Rogers
through the trial,
yeah, through there on the 55 Space Station Gaming car there. That's awesome.
You know, I'll never forget when Kyle Busch won at Darlington and, I mean, beat the right side completely off the car and still drove away from the field.
And look at that. Will still, yeah, he's going below Gorlinski there. So that move, he didn't let Gorlinski get down. He packed that air on his left rear and was hoping to be able to take that momentum and use the 081 behind him. Oh, we got another one on the wall.
22.
Just sort of tapped it.
Yeah, it was Alonso Morales in the 22. He's okay. Just behind that battle we were looking at, again, just a light grazing, but it doesn't take much when you're doing 240 around here. You scrape the wall and lose 5 miles an hour. We've already seen how much that can impact the driver behind you being unable to slow down and miss you. So you don't want to cut speed unexpectedly. It's an easy way to get yourself hit from behind as Morales continues to try and hold on to that thing under assault from Malik Reyes. We look one more time at Jimmy Mullis, again, the pole sitter, who's he's not really had a lot of success staying up there. Jimmy back there in 18.
I had him in my picks. He's in my eRacr predictor right now. I expected Jimmy Mullis to plow through the field, just get straight up in the top 10. So he's got some work to do there. I mean, he's in the transfer spot, the Transervice transfer spot, basically being in the top 20 is where you want to be. So I do expect, you know, if you're in the top 10 tonight, really, that's a place where you don't need to take a lot of risk. It's as you fall back and, oh, look at that.
Wow.
Oh, that's Gibson, I believe.
Wow. That's a big moment right there for James D. Gibson. Oh, wow. He saved it, too.
That was awesome. What a drift.
You know, I looked into that question he asked me, Parker, yesterday about the sponsor on his car in the city of Phoenix. We are not familiar with that sponsorship.
Got it. Thank you. Did you check out the town hall? Did you call them up?
I called them myself.
That's great.
You're welcome. That accounting degree really paying off in the field of journalism. Asking the hard-hitting questions.
D's in the chat for James D. Gibson.
You'll get the numbers.
Right.
So we're looking back up front. Look at this train of cars. So we saw the top three there about Fowler, Cassill, McCandless. They broke away initially. Then Nicholas, Cook, Ruckman, Bowden, Burns, Gillen, they all caught right back up. So that draft effect we saw in the prelims where even in the fixed setup, you couldn't get away from those cars behind you. I think we'll continue to see that here with the open setups. That draft is so powerful. If you can just get a sniff of it and get organized, you're going to get right back to those lead cars.
Caution on the speedway. We've got trouble out of... I have no idea where.
I think it was turn 2. I saw a little puff of smoke back there.
Let's see, we had... Oh, okay, I see. This is John Gorlinski and Brad Slaughter Jr. getting together in the middle of the turn. In the middle, going in the middle of 1 and 2. That's the 081 of Brad Slaughter Jr.
Yeah, we're gonna go to that.
Take a look at this replay here and see. Gorlinski in the middle of the screen.
Oh!
Gorlinski grazes him on the way by. That's a big blow for Gorlinski right there. That's a lot of damage to the right side of that highlighter yellow, number 21. That's a lot of damage. It looked like, again, another instance there, Landon, of Brad Slaughter, another car entering high, not able to recover.
Another shot there. Brad just entering high, hot tires, sliding up into it. It's going to bunch the field back up and get another set of tires. We're almost halfway.
There you go. Not necessarily a crash, but, you know,
Well,
a cautionable option, I guess.
yeah, it's a there was a ton of smoke. I did see it off of turn 2, a ton of smoke, and so I think it looked more like we were going to have a spinner into the middle of the field. Race control decided to make discretion the better part of valor there.
You know, I'd say
you never know.
Never know.
I would say that last week we put race control on a tight time frame. We're having time limits on races, doing back-to-back 8 races a night. Can't screaming in their ear, you cannot go longer than 30 minutes on this race. Oh, and Ray Alfala gets beat off pit road.
He does by Blake McCandless. McCandless quick out of his stall. Gonna beat Ray Alfala out. Ruckman's gonna be 3rd. Cassill back to 4th. It looks like Colin Bowden possibly in 5th. Interesting little exchange there on pit road. Usually it takes, what, 1 trip down pit road for you to get settled and feel good about your brake bias and your stopping ability to get into your stall and all that.
Yeah, and it's also finding your box. That's always key. For some reason, it can be tough to find at Daytona. We saw that in the prelims, right? So it's a lot of cars on pit road. It's tough to see. It's nighttime. They're not illuminated well, and so you even in same situation in real life, it's just a really tough place to get on pit road and especially in a gaggle of cars.
Yeah, I think we've got a report from Kim down on pit road here.
Landon, so caution comes out with about 32 laps to go. That's right on the edge of their fuel window. Remember, the fuel window for this track is low 30s. We've got 60 laps in this race, 32 to go. Now, we will likely see another caution, but if for some reason we did not, drivers making sure they get their gas tanks full during this stop, just in the event that we go green till the end.
It's a great point. Thank you, Kim. So
right on the window.
Yeah, this is this is gonna be tense. So not only have we, you have the having to hang on to a car going this fast. You got the tires wearing a ton. We're now going to add fuel mileage considerations to this. So do you want to be the leader? right? Do you want to be leading this thing, or do you want to be saving fuel? As you go into the run, Landon, I expect some lifting in the fixed setups. We're braking late into a run, so that will help you fuel-wise. But this could be an extra bit of intensity, especially for those leaders. How bad do you want to win this? First, save some fuel.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm not banking on it going green, Parker. I'm probably saving under caution here. I'm going to cut my motor and coast a little bit. But once we go green, I'm going hard. I think there'll be another yellow. I'm going to get another chance to come down pit road. You know, we're halfway here. So for those of you that are just joining, we're taking the top 20 out of this race. We'll get to go to the Carnomaly 500. We're going to run another race after this one. We've had a few interesting moments. No big one yet, though. I'm actually very surprised by that. We haven't seen a big one. Malik Ray's working his way up through the field, started shotgun. He's up to 28th right now. You know, we just saw John Gorlinski with a little bit of trouble. So there's a couple notables that are struggling through the field. Jimmy Mullis, I think, is notable. Started on the pole. He's clear back in 18th. But let's go back to green here. Oh, we got a predictor.
Kayla's first the field on the predictor, by the way, as we take the green flag.
Got predictor question here as well. Who will lead after 2 laps? McCandless in the field. McCandless the field. Doesn't matter. Caution flag flies immediately. You got a big one, Landon. You had to say it. And as Byron Daly up and over right out of the tri-oval. Byron Daly got hooked by Andrew Player on the restart, and it was lights out for Byron.
So they were both just in the transfer spot. They were 19th and 20th for that restart. Oh, that's devastating. Byron Daly is an engineer on the 3-car at RCR. We're going to get a replay here. He puts a lot into sim racing. So let's see what happens here. Byron Daly
loses rear grip.
Yeah, he's the 06. Andrew Player. Oh, and he just bumped the tires.
Yep.
Oh.
And it's Chandler Parsons with the biggest contact right there in the 72 who hit him. A lot of smoke out of the back of Adam Benefield, who already had a wounded car. That's going to be the end of the race for Benefield. It's pretty much over already for him. But Chandler Parsons, heavy contact. There was another car who hit Byron Daly on the way through, and I believe it was Anthony Burrows with heavy right front damage as well as he hit that spinning Byron Daly machine.
And I think it's just a little bit of wheel spin right there on that start. These cars, I mean, that's a waggle. That's a waggle gone wrong. I think I saw a blue bird just sneak through the middle of that. I don't know if we can find a replay on that one.
Yeah,
all I saw was a
number 4 car.
Blue capital Blue Emu logo sneak through the middle, which would be our second big blue bird making it through a.
Man,
well, it wasn't without some damage. Malik Ray does have some significant rear end damage. He caught Byron Daly as Daly spun around, caught a piece of him. So there's going to be damage to the back of the Malik Ray machine as a result of this as well.
I gotta say, I hate that for Byron Daly. He actually came from the back in this race. He did not have a good qualifying effort last night. Just didn't have time to work on the qualifying setup between his real job racing go-karts and also working at RCR as an engineer. So he was excited to race his way in tonight. Just didn't happen.
He just gets caught right there on the way past. And there's that rear end damage on Malik Ray.
Little damage, but he's got to be at least relieved to some degree with that.
Could have been worse.
It definitely could have been worse. It didn't turn him into the fence. I don't know. You gonna come in and fix that? I mean,
yeah, he's on pit road. A number of cars down pit road to get damage fixed right here. You know, you already said somewhere around 28th, 30th right there, Landon. So when you're that far back, you might as well bring it down, get the damage fixed, I think. Look at Chandler Parsons all tore up again with that big hit on the front end. Tough break for Chandler there. I know he was really excited to be in this event, not the way he wanted this to go.
Yeah, he's got that great throwback scheme. We've loved that scheme.
Pretty other takers on pit road. Gorlinski came down, Stallneck, Minter, Huffman, Morales all came down. Surprise. Take a look at some more record voids with Christian Sanford.
Oh,
man.
Oh, wow. Yeah, missed him.
The man out of Hicksville, no state, gets through the wreck.
Still no state. We found out Hicksville is its own state of mind, is what we discovered last night.
I'm glad he's in this one. I feel like We're now I got somebody to root for. Let's do it. Hicksville. Blue Emu's in the chat if you're from Hicksville. Put anything in the chat if you're from Hicksville.
Help us out.
I can't
Let
wait
us
to
know
see
where
this
it is,
one.
please.
Anything in the chat.
We've been searching for a long time to find where Hicksville is.
Well, no, last night we determined that there's a Hicksville everywhere.
Yes,
Anywhere
that,
in the-
and it's a state of mind. It's
It
no,
is a
no
state
longer
of-
just a location. It is a state of mind to be Hicksville.
Hicksville is a lifestyle.
We have
Oh,
someone in the
brother.
chat who said he's from Hicksville. So,
Hicksville. All right.
yeah, so place.
King of Kings 75 says, "Hey Landon." Hey King of Kings 75.
Hi
I'll
there.
take a second out of the broadcast and say hello to you.
You love to see it. Well,
There you go.
we've let's see if we go on this restart. So these tires will have a little bit more heat in them than just coming straight off pit
Just
road.
a restart though. Just a
Yeah.
launch.
Yeah. Well, it's tough because, you know, one of the things in these cars, at least in the fix-up, you would definitely second gear. If you tried first gear, you were going to do exactly what you saw Andrew Player do there. And that's spin the tires, go off into the field, take a bunch of people out. So I'd be interested maybe to see if some of these guys have tried, you know, to find a little sweet spot there in first gear with an open setup, maybe thinking they can make it work because they have a better setup in the car, whatever it is. But that's trying a little too hard when you're both in the transfer spot.
You think we go green to the end? Is it possible?
I think so.
No.
I think
What?
so. Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
we haven't
brother.
seen these drivers antsy yet.
We got the restart, and it's Blake McCandless out front, Ruckman in second, Alfala Cattell, and then side by side, Bowden Nichols, Predictor up. Will the leader of lap 37 have an odd or even car number?
Oh.
Interesting.
It is interesting.
Right now it's an
three
even
laps
number,
now.
2 even numbers, 1, 2, and then an odd number.
And then
That's
two even.
the leader of lap 37, so the end of lap 37, which is in 3 laps.
I'm playing the odds on this one. I think the odds
see what
are
you did
in
there.
favor of the evens.
I see what you did there.
That was yeah.
Thanks, Landon.
You're
That
welcome.
that was cute. I like it.
Hey, if there's one thing I've learned, Ray Alfala wants to be out front. We saw it in the
Nuts.
prelim. I saw it in the practice races, racing around him. Guy turned me once down the backstretch for no reason.
Oh, man.
I think I called it.
Egregious.
His third.
Oh,
we're
we're
all-
Did you give him a piece of your mind? Did
Kind
you tell
of.
him you were mad?
we're all tied. You're still leading the overall. Ah, no one can beat him. Can we get some more predict? I gotta catch up. I gotta make up like 500, 600 points. It's frustrating. I took a 600-point L somewhere in the last couple of days, and I haven't been able to make it up.
All right, so it's McCandless versus Alfala for this next predictor. Do you think they
And
know?
we have a caution. Oh, that's a big wreck
Oh.
out of turn 2. Gorlinski's involved again.
Oh,
Landon
that-
Huffman, Mike Rasmus involved. Anthony Burrows involved. Tucker Minter involved. That was at the back of the field, and that's a big one out of turn 2. Looks like it starts. Looks like it's going to start with contact between John Gorlinski and Alonso Morales in the middle of 1 and 2.
I think we're gonna see that one in just a second. It looks like Gorlinski was running maybe a half a lane up. Just gonna see here. You can see his highlighter yellow collar just a half a lane up. Tried to get down in front of Alonso. Alonso really didn't cut him any slack. Why would you?
So Landon, that brings me to, I want to ask you this question then. That's a position a lot of drivers find themselves in, and they see it a lot. You got a guy who is trying to work his way down, maybe he's a couple miles an hour slower, and you're on the bottom coming with a head of steam, and you're put in a position where you either choose to lift or drive through the guy. What goes through your mind, and why do you choose what you choose? Or how do you choose?
Well, who am I? Am I the guy on the outside? I'm the guy on the bottom.
You're the guy on the bottom.
Oh man, I don't know. I mean, I think that yeah, I'm probably going to drive through him in that situation. I'm not going to cut him very much slack because the bottom is so preferred. And I just know that if he gets stuck on the outside, Gorlinski was going to lose 5 spots. But that's also why Gorlinski was so insistent to get down there. I mean, he wasn't just given any. He knew that if he didn't get down, he's going to lose 5 spots.
This is from Landon Huffman's. Oh.
Oof. Big shots.
Yeah. Oh,
That's how you
another hit
got.
there.
That's, yeah,
So
I got a
for
few
many
more
of
cars.
Yeah, and for many of these drivers, I mean, if you still have the engine running and that sort of thing, you're going to be hoping that we see more wrecks like that, right? Because you're trying to get in the top 20, and if it gets crazy out there, maybe you have a chance if you're just still on the lead lap.
Now, here's interesting. I mean, this is 2 laps and a pit stop. I mean, this definitely makes them all good on fuel. Probably considering for green, white checkers as well, it's definitely makes
I think it's too tired. I think it's all too tired.
A lot of strategy here. A lot of strategy. It's going to be Kane Cook. Kane Cook going to be the first off pit road, Adam Gilliland, and then McCandless in third.
Whoa.
Strategy.
Strategy has shown up. Why wouldn't you? Let's go for it.
I don't know.
Hey, you know what's going to be one of the most interesting places here tonight in a couple hours, Landon? When we see these wrecks? Our Discord. The eRacr Discord. If you want to see some of the post-race action, probably on Twitter using the hashtag Carnomaly500 or our Discord, just type in ! Discord and you'll be brought right there.
Let me say something. Last week after our look at that miss. That's nice right there. You feel good when you get through one of those. Last week after our prelim nights, there were post-broadcast parties in Discord that went into the unholy hours of the morning. I'm talking 20, 30 people in a voice chat room with webcams on, all above board, thankfully. And it was a blast. It was absolutely lovely to see. So nice to see the community come together. So we didn't do it last night, and we said, damn it, we need to talk about it. We need to do it tonight. So I warmly invite all of you to come to the Discord and hang out. You never know. You might get to talk to big NASCAR driver Parker Kligerman.
Oh, I thought you were going to mention someone else.
Well, I'll be in there. I just fixed the channel, so we've got a post-battle party right above the kitchen.
I had a better title for Landon than big NASCAR driver.
What is it?
Top tier motorsports promoter.
Wow. Man, that just
The Humpy Wheeler of iRacing.
that warms my heart.
Are you sure that's not the Blue Emu?
The Blue Emu's not like a hot. It's just a nice smooth
Yeah, that makes you feel
application,
good.
and you won't stink.
That's true. But it makes you feel good. It makes you feel good, inside and out.
Absolutely. Little update on Malik Ray. He took 2 tires, I'm hearing, and he's up to 13. There he is. Look at the Blue Emu on the hood of that car.
He had to do something to flip the script.
2 tires.
Yeah.
2 tire strategy for Malik.
Good to see him riding in a ace car, 3-wide racing. Actually, I think if you would pull up the eRacr Predictor standings, 3-wide racing might be somewhere near the top. He's had a good week on the Predictor.
Yes.
He's right behind you. He's
There
about
he is.
Member of the community.
about 60 points back, but you don't count, so he's got himself a 90-point lead over Selby.
So he's in the actual lead. Landon isn't for real.
He is in the seat that a
I
catbird
gained
would
100 points on
possess.
you there, almost, Landon. 75 that last one. I'm inching my way forward.
21 laps to go here on the restart. It's going to be Kane Cook, Adam Gilliland. I haven't talked about Guillory yet tonight. Drop down behind Cook in front of McCandless. Foul. Look how quick they get single file for about the first 8 positions. That's awesome.
High-speed Bristol.
Get smart about it. I'll be interested to see how long those 2 tires last. They're really able to hold on to the lead. That could be a big telltale for all the drivers in the battle number 2 after this one and for the Carnomaly 500.
Maybe the first car on 4 tires right now.
Ray Alfallon, he's the one that's taking the lead away from Kane Cook. Oh, caution!
Malik, this is the big one.
That's a huge one. Malik's in it. McCacker's in it. Oh, no. Michael P. Frisch is in this one. I want to talk about Frisch for a second when I get it. But Zane Scott's involved in this wreck. Malik Ray, as you said, was in this one. Oh, no.
Oh, and that's a mixed-up field of 2 tires and 4 tires. Wow. Anybody that's
And
been saving their car tonight, that's exactly what they were looking for.
Oh boy, Malik's the first one to get turned. It's contact from behind from Jesse Kaplan. And again, I'll leave it to you to say what you see here, Landon.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Oh, right there. Kaplan just slid right up into him.
That wipes out a lot of cars.
A lot of good ones, too. There's P right there in the middle. Saw the Best Buy Ford.
Josh Parker involved.
Well, and Malik was on 2 tires. So,
Yeah.
you know, that's one of the things. He was further back in the pack. He wasn't in those single file cars up there. They were all still side by side, 2 tires. These cars are going so fast, so much power, 900 horsepower at the flywheel. That's a tough thing to handle when others have 4 tires around you, and he just was slowed up, and the O2 caught him so quickly, and around he went.
Well, and David Boonty in the chat here made a good point. There were 3 wide in front of Malik. We're gonna see another replay in just a second. Maybe we can analyze this a little bit more.
This is just gonna be some expert avoidance, maybe.
No.
Oh my gosh.
Wow,
Yeah.
that is some great avoidance.
Look at
That's
those
like
two.
rush-
On board with Breyer. What does Breyer see? A lot of smoke, a lot of cars. Whoa!
Oh,
What a move!
Nice. Ledford Billiard Supply going to be happy with that one, I'll tell you.
Oh yeah, that was expert level avoidance.
That was huge.
No
That was
blue
mega.
needed for him tonight. That one.
So as I look at this, you know, I have the luxury of having a camera. I can put the camera wherever I want. And on the entrance to 3, Malik slides up about a half a lane, and I think Kaplan just didn't expect it, and he kept his speed when Malik had to cut speed up the track.
I think we're seeing this really quick. Oh, there's more. Yep, just carnage.
Oh, there's Novak involved too. I didn't see Novak involved there.
I missed that as well.
I saw Frisch. I saw others. I didn't see Novak, and that's a big hit for Novak.
He literally landed on someone else's hood. Oh no.
More trouble there. That's
Oh.
is that Matt Busa?
The
No,
Piedmont
I'm sorry.
Airline?
That's John Whitendorf. That's John Whitendorf that received sideways. As that was Zane Scott who went through him there.
And it's so hard to avoid these cars. At times they start hitting off the
Oh,
wall,
you're
hitting
just
off each
going
other.
so fast.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we noticed in our practice races, one of the interesting things is when you add 30 miles an hour or so to these cars, now 40 basically, and you go off into a corner trying to basically stop to avoid a wreck, the brakes don't work that well.
Jimmy with a nice little
Turned
drive
out.
there to avoid it. Yeah, I feel for Malik. Took the gamble on 2 tires and never really got a chance to really flesh it out, unfortunately. Little Jimmy Mullis here. Oh my gosh, Jimmy. You're too good at this.
Look
You're
at
too
that
good
trip.
at this.
Puts the
That
left
is
foot on the grass,
unfair.
hooks it in there, keeps digging.
The Mad Lad.
That's some Tokyo Drift right there.
I'm telling you, cue the music. Where's that music? All right. Is that how it goes?
Nah, I'm terrible. Don't ask me to do music.
Well, that's going to set up a restart here with, what's this going to be? 17 laps to go here on the restart. It's going to be Ray Alfal, who just took the lead away from Kane Cook right before that caution flag flew. It'll be Gillen, McCandless, Cattell, Ruckman, Nichols, Bowden, Burns, and Norman. Stephen Norman in the top 10 from 27th. Haven't mentioned Stephen
All
Norman's
right.
name yet tonight.
Norman, making a run at it.
So, really quick, Parker, before we go to green, the drivers that took 4 tires versus the drivers that took 2, did you think one hard green lap on the tires kind of knocked the booty off them for those 4-tire guys? Or did it level it off at all?
I still think you're gonna be at a disadvantage. I definitely think you're still at a disadvantage here. If we were to go green, or at least even just 10 laps in a row here, I think you'd definitely see that those come into play, the 4 tires.
You see it already on the restart. Gillen not able to get the power down, holding up that inside lane. That's going to allow Cook to get down in front of him. That stacks up Cattell and Nichols on the inside lane, giving Ruckman and McCandless on the outside. It seems Blake McCandless has had plenty of speed, bringing that outside lane and Ruckman with him.
They are lined up on the bottom, though. I mean, there is no room for Blake to get in, and I don't think this is the time of race where anybody's going to give room, even though we're plenty clear of the transfer spot.
And caution flag flies again. Uh-oh, we're getting into it now, boys.
Caution's a big
Alonso
caution.
Morales.
Wow.
Alonso Morales in the 22 down in the grass on the inside of turn 3. That's going to be contact between he and Caden Rush. As Caden Rush voices his disdain for that move as he had the run. And Morales didn't really give him a lot of room to work with there and got himself turned for his efforts, as we'll see on the replay momentarily. Not the first incident tonight for Alonso Morales. And this one is about as innocent as it gets. Does not hit the inside wall, but it's going to lose some track position.
We'll get a shot of it here soon. What happened back there. This little bump drafting down the backstretch. Let's go to the inside. Oh, tries to throw the block.
It's too late.
Said, looked like he was going to fly back up into the field there, but was pretty innocent.
Yeah, it's not often you get hooked, or get yourself hooked in this case, going into turn 3 and don't hit anything.
That is pretty lucky. In these cars, if you get hooked, you're seriously lucky not to hit anything. This is helping some of the damaged cars in there that are trying just to survive their way through. I've been looking at that transfer spot back in 20th place. Right now, Brad Slaughter Jr.'s in it, but it's been hotly contested by many cars. And then as we get further back behind it, there is, certain cars that we've already seen involved in wrecks, that sort of thing, that are just sort of limping along. Even Matt Stallnecht, who's back in 26 now, who spun out right in the first lap. So this is wide open back. Some of those drivers that maybe got involved in early wrecks are getting a chance, as we see so many cautions and people continuing to damage their cars. Getting into 20th could still be an opportunity for those guys.
We saw Michael P. Frisch on the pit road with what appears to be terminal damage to his number 58 Bar Visuals machine. And I wanted to touch on Michael P. Frisch. He was unsure if he was even going to be able to make tonight's event. His work commitments in the real world were running long, and he was absolutely distraught on social media. Understandably so, when you work so hard and go through all the steps that you go through to get to this point, to not be sure you're even going to be able to race here tonight. For Michael, thankfully he was able to make the race. Unfortunately, not going to be the result that he was looking for, but just a roller coaster of emotion for somebody who I'm pretty fond of. I've gotten to know Michael P. really well over the past few years, and an outstanding personality, but unfortunately the Bar Visuals machine is not going to be seeing the Carnomaly 500.
Well, David, Michael is a great competitor with us, and we know he'll be back. We're really happy to have him, but we're here to have fun. I mean, there's a lot at stake here, but there's real people in this race, but we've got everybody from people that are here to have fun to iRacing pros. We've got NASCAR drivers that have been racing with us. Garrett Smithley's coming up obviously tonight as well. So we like to have fun with eRacer events, but life happens, right? You gotta do your thing. There's a lot of money at stake, though. They're racing for something. I mean, it is $3,000 to win. For one driver, it's $18,000 to win. Nick Ottinger can start at the back, or if he can come from the back.
That's that is the mix, right? We put up these large prize pools. Everyone takes it seriously, and we want the racing to be serious. It's intense. It is serious. These people are putting a ton of time and effort into these events. Same token, look, we're racing cars, virtual cars at that. This should be fun. This should be enjoyable. It should be something that you come here on a Wednesday or Thursday night and just have a good time. And hopefully everyone who is in our events or is watching here around the internets is having a good time. And I know I'm having a good time. So this is fun. Let's get some green flag racing to end this. Let's get this nice, 12 laps until the end. Green flag, see who's got the best cars. We did it at the beginning of the race. I think we can do it again.
Well said. Well said. It's going to be Alfala who leads the field to the green flag. McCandless in second. Cook, Ruckman, Gilliland, Bowden, Cattell, Nichols, Burns, and Michael Cozy Jr., old Winval, showing up in the top 10. I talked with him last night after his qualifying lap, and I'll tell you, we highlighted his lap in that first session, and he had a great lap minus a little bit of a bobble there in turn 3, and I'm telling you, he took it personally. He was not happy with himself after that qualifying lap, was a little bit nervous about this event right now. MCJ in that 10th position, well within the top 20 needed to make it into March 3rd's Carnomaly 500. But it's not just him. There's 19 other drivers in those top 20 spots, all hoping they can stay there. Pace car off. Alfala going to accelerate in the restart zone. We're back to green.
Oh, they're
big stack up on the outside.
I think that's Brian LaPrade going through the grass. I don't know if he quite gathered it up. Shots where he ended up, but it got real hairy there just in the middle of the pack on the restart.
Crab well off the pack. Unfortunate for Briars, it's just a huge stack up and he's going to lose out, but we got one spun down the back stretch. That's Gorlinski again. What a terrible night it's been for our Firecracker 400 runner-up. We stay green.
We're going to keep it going. Just a single car spin there into the inside. He kept it going.
Now the caution flag flies.
We'll have to take a look here.
Well, we'll chalk it up to 1 + 1 = 2.
There's your top split.
I mean, how many times have we seen this in sim racing, guys? I know I've seen it way too often for as long as I've been doing this as we look at the replay here. And up into the wall he goes, back down, tries to hold on to it and just loses control. Oof. And
then used, guess what, guys? Alt F4.
Favorite key combo, yes. The Alt F4.
That's not good sportsmanship. I don't know. Is it good sport? Actually, what are the opinions of Alt F4? Because if we would have known he was going Alt F4, we wouldn't have thrown the yellow.
Yeah.
Right. That's why I say it's not good sportsmanship.
Yeah.
So I'd say we frown upon that one.
Yeah, it's really just, that's not.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're in a race, if it's not going your way, I mean, just we appreciate the getting out of the way, but let the race play out. A wreck is a wreck. People get caught up.
We feel for Malik Ray too. Malik Ray, more damage there. So he got right reared. Probably wishes Minter had hit the Alt F4 before he hit him, but didn't happen that way.
Malik was still basically almost in the top 25 for that card. It's been hitting every panel on it. He's got a dent all around in the front and the back. That thing has been through a war, and he still has probably a chance at the transfer spot here. So let's see what happens, because look at that thing. Look at that car.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's half the size of the other cars out there.
I bet he still races it. I bet he still races it in.
Oh, definitely.
How much product, Landon, is that going to take to fix? I mean, how much is he going to need to feel better there?
Yeah, I think he could. He could go with the original 12-ounce tub here. It's it's a pretty good size. That'll last you a while. I'm also taking a look at the Blue Emu Max. You could go with the 3-ounce. That's something you could take with you travel size.
So what happens if can you just apply it to the sheet metal to make the car feel better?
Does Blue Emu work on cars too? That's a good question.
Only one way to find out.
Yeah, we need to find out. I wonder if you go faster at Daytona or Talladega. If you put Blue Emu around the car, it'd make it slipperier and help in some respects.
A little like putting a layer of clear coat on over it, or
yeah, I don't know. And then the car would feel better. It'd be more relaxed. It would.
Blue Emu says it certainly can't hurt.
I never would have imagined some of the conversations I find myself in the middle of. Granted, I started this conversation, so that's on me.
Yeah, how did we end up here?
It's my fault.
Okay, that's good to know. I blame you.
It's my fault. That's fine. I won't Alt F4 from this situation, okay?
Yeah. How's everybody's top? Oh, thank you, David. How's your top 5 doing? How's everybody's predictor doing?
I'm actually doing great.
Yeah.
I've got basically all 4 of my top 5. Well, one of my top 5 is up. So I've got 4 of my top 5. 3 in the top 5 and 1 looking out.
So what does it mean if I have 5 blank spaces on my predictor? Is that bad?
That
would
means
be
you
bad.
didn't play.
You didn't
Yeah.
put that in.
Sorry.
Adam Cabot there in the 77 in the transfer spot in 20th. Lawn Tech on the hood. Remember last night we gave them that shout out, Landon? They got inundated with Google search requests in their website. And now Lawn Tech is back on Twitter because of last night. Go check them out if you want.
I love it. I love
Awesome.
it. Sponsorship works.
It does work.
You see any blank cars in the field tonight if you're a small business? Somebody looking for a driver, wants some representation for the Carnomaly 500, hit them up. Or reach out to us. We'll connect you to somebody that needs a sponsor.
Yeah.
Plenty of space available. It's going to be 9 laps to go on the restart. I really want this rash of cautions to go away. I know people are getting antsy around that 20th position. Just outside of the top 20, look at these names. Matt Busa, James D. Gibson, Chandler Parsons, who's been in a few wrecks. Alonso Morales, who's had some issues tonight. DK, who was our first caution of the race. Zach Novak back there in 26th. This thing's far from over. There's still some names fighting to get in that top 20 as we go back to green. 9 laps to go.
We'll watch the race at the front, and I really think that transfer spot's going to be the most interesting spots on the track. Watching those drivers jockey for position. So the front's going to get some foul. Pretty much, if you're in the top 10 at this point, ride it out. Just play a little bit of defense. No reason to play much offense, but back in that top 20, or back towards 20th, that's going to be where it's intense.
Yeah, I mean, that's where you have Busa, who just moved into the transfer spot over Cabot. James D. Gibson is back there. Chandler Parsons is 23rd. I thought he was destroyed. So, I mean, there's still some drivers with contention. I mean, it's proven to be a race of attrition, which is what we had originally thought. But, I mean, shoot, on lap 30, I would not have guessed.
Definitely has been.
Top 20 beat up race car in this race, at least with the amount of wrecks we've had. If the motor's still running, Parker, like you said, if the motor's still running, get it back out there. You have no clue what you might get still at this point.
If you're on the lead lap, you have a chance. Let's put it that way. And they're still racing. Look at this. Almost 3 wide, 3 up at the front. You're all in. What are you doing?
Well, this is your starting spot for next Wednesday. I think a little wiggle for Blake McCandless. Remember, these guys are still on. Are they still on 2 tires?
Yep, some of them are. Kane Cook on 2, Adam Gilliland on 2. That's 3rd and 4th right now. Cook leading the outside lane with McCandless. Gilliland 3rd car in the inside lane with Ruckman behind him.
Oh, huge wreck.
Oh, big one.
Oh boy,
Right
that's
at a
Christian
huge hit.
Sanford involved there, but he was not the first car to go around. It looks like it was Jesse Kaplan blocking Adam Cabot going into 1. Cabot below the yellow line. Kaplan giving him nothing to work with, and surprise, surprise, tear up more race cars with Briar LaPrade involved. Morales involved. That finally might be terminal damage for the 22. This move right here, I have a hard time understanding.
See this thing forming right here. That's Cabot in the 77.
Oh, that's an
Oh,
awkward
just-
place. Yeah, that's a hard. So you know,
Alba's move was never gonna work.
no, you can't. You can do that into 3. You get away with it almost every time, and it's just a little bit of give and take. But into 1, the way the corner is designed, the way that you come off the tri-oval, it's such a weird, awkward entry into the corner. You just can't do that. That's really playing with fire. And I don't blame Kaplan for turning in. He was never going to expect Cabot to be down there. And when he was, there was no way to turn off him.
You know, as racing luck is always, it just seems to be ironic more often than not. And I get my fair share of crashes, and it drives me insane. It's always the guy who makes the bad move and kicks off the wreck who escapes without any problem, because Adam Cabot now scored in the 21st position with the clean car.
All right, so we're gonna see a pretty short short restart. Is Ray Alfala gonna pit?
This is an easy 75 points.
No
There's
pit
no way.
stop for Ray Alfala. Is that what you're saying? 5 seconds. Pick it. 3, 2, 1.
That was easy, guys.
That was easy, no pit.
I like using it. Why not? It's just free points. You're just playing now. Here's the question, Landon. As we get closer to it. GWC.
Ooh.
Oh, we can see a couple of them, maybe. I mean, the trend is headed that way.
Green, white,
obviously.
checkers. What do we got on off?
Will we see a green-white checkered? Well, this isn't a green-white checkered, is it? Are we going to end up in?
No.
Not there. We
Okay,
won't hit
so
it
we're
yet,
still.
but will we? It's a question. We could. I think we could even put up a predictor for it. We might be a little soon. Let's wait till we go green here. But that will basically mean if there's a caution or not.
So the way the predictor works, does it have to fulfill before we can close? We can just leave it up until the.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah,
That was
just leave it
150
open.
points.
Oh, this is
Yeah,
a big
just
one.
leave it open.
Oh,
We need some big moving predictor. This is
Yeah.
too safe. We need something to really shake up the running order here.
well,
we
we
need
will have it
big-
at the end of the race. We will have once they finish this race, you will have all your predictions you put in will equal
We're
a
not
lot
going to
of
be back
points.
on track till next Wednesday. Let's raise the stakes here a little bit. Let's make people have something to think about for the next 6 days.
Something that Landon can get wrong is what we really need.
Yeah,
Get
that's
him off
exactly.
the
I
top
need
spot.
Landon to get it wrong so that he's mad for the next 6 days. I don't have to deal with him being mad. It's not my problem.
Oh man. I'm gonna say. I'm not telling you guys what I said actually. I don't want to sway your votes.
I'm saying it either.
Keeping it to myself on this prediction. Chat, feel free to say what you did, but I'm not saying what I did. That's simple. Nice cup of Valve.
No insider information here.
This is not financial advice.
But this is some personal advice.
That is good personal advice.
Try some original Blue Emu super strength contains Blue Emu, and you won't stink.
Those, yeah.
It's a
The
value
most
to
important
us.
thing to me every day.
It always is nice when you don't. That's a major plus.
So basically, take your pick. You still got a little bit of time left. We're doubled up. We are going green, so we're gonna close this predictor, probably right before we go green. And
Close it right now. Close it right now.
Oh, it's closing right now.
Closed. So we'll know.
It's closed.
Once
Hope you
we
made
get
your
the red
picks.
flag.
We just, I've got a producer is reporting to me right now. I'm not
Breaking
sure if I
news.
want to say this on the air, but I don't know if we want to say this. I guess Kane Cook in the field right now is playing the predictor.
You can
He's
do
running
that.
third.
We can. We.
He's
That
he's
is real
playing the
multitasking.
predictor. The question is, did he pick himself to win this race?
That's what I
He did.
I would.
Yes, he did. I can guarantee you that. That is such a typical Kane Cook thing. I love it. All right, green flag. 3 laps to go. Alfala leads Cassill from Cook, the predictor player himself, McCandless, and Gold in the top 5. Keep eyes up front. We'll keep eyes on the transfer spot as well.
You got the transfer spot cam up there in the top right. Adam Cabot, James Gibson, Matt Busa all racing really tightly for it.
That's James D. Gibson racing for a transfer spot. Had tons of speed in the practice races. Had a solid. Oh, one is prelim qualifier. Aggressive moves though.
There.
We know for
He's
we know
there.
for aggressive moves. He's got a nose under Matt Busa.
He's in 20th right now. Adam Cabot, first car on the outside, looking in. As we watch the battle for the lead, Alfala still leads Cassill, Kane Cook, and McCandless up on the top side with Nichols. Transervice transfer spot cam right there now full screen. James D. Gibson in the blue and orange 82. Adam Cabot there in the 77.
Look
Matt
at the
Busa
75.
got-
Loosened the
Yeah.
loosened the 3. Now he's, can Cabot close the gap? We're coming to white. This is going to be it. The next flag ends it.
White flag in the air one more time around here in Blue Emu Battle number 1. Who's it going to be? James D. Gibson, Matt Busa, Adam Cabot, Chandler Parsons is there. Briar LaPrade is there as well.
Oh, right to his bumper.
Wow, what a battle. Busa, Cabot, Busa side by side.
What are you willing to do to make it in? What are you willing to do to make it into the Carnomaly 500? Here comes Cabot. He's got the inside line on Busa. Does Busa have an answer out of 4? Here he comes with the run. Cabot goes up to block him. It's not going to be enough. Busa gets the spot.
Busa gets it.
Wow.
Amazing finish.
Guys, we'll get a replay of the race finish as well. That was just so intense. It was a really good finish up in the front between Ray Alfala and Adam Gilliland as well for the win. Alfala gets it for your predictor, but that was, what a race by Busa and Cabot.
Unbelievable. Hey, I got to tell you, those guys, that is some amazing clean racing. I mean, could you ask for better racing?
Matt Busa literally just typed in chat, mad respect, Adam, for not wrecking me for P20. I think that tells you everything you need to know.
Look at that.
He could have. He could, and most people would have. But he didn't do it. Unbelievable racing. Back to the line. That's clean. That's respectable, and I'm here for it. I like that.
I got to tell you, Adam Cabot, I want to see everybody type Cabot in the chat.
Yep.
That was so
That's
impressive.
Respect. That is big respect right there.
Well, and I want to see, you know, I know we're working on replays. We want to see this, you know, we're going to take our time here because we got another race to go. I want to see that move that Adam made on the bottom into turn 3 on the last lap. He threaded this needle on Busa. Busa's a pro, first of all. I mean, he threaded this needle on Busa that was just enough room for a car. We're gonna see. They're reeling this back. Just hang tight. Look at.
We'll get the results here while we have it up on the screen. Alfala gets the win. Gilliland, Cattell, Bowden, Nichols in P5, McCandless, Kane Cook in 7th, Burns, Jimmy Mullis, and Marcus Ruckman round out the top 10. As we look at 11th through 20th, Michael Cozy Jr. makes it in. Santi Tires makes it in. Will Rogers takes the short route to get into the Carnomaly 500. Stephen Norman gets in. Aaron Smith, Caden Rush, Daniel Roper, Brad Slaughter Jr., James D. Gibson, and Matt Busa, 20th and final transfer spot. Adam Cabot, respectable driver of the race. Briar LaPrade just misses out. Chandler Parsons, Zach Novak misses out. Stalnek, Kem, McEacker and Gorlinski, a big one missing out there. Whitendorf and Burrows, the top 30. Player, Rasmus, Parker, Ray, Huffman, Morales, Sanford, Kaplan, Minter, Frisch, all caught up in wrecks, had damage. And Byron Daly, 43rd and last year in Blue Emu Battle number 1.
So this is playing pretty much the last lap. We're taking the white here, Cabot. I mean, this is just thrilling. Big arc into turn 1. You know, the 82 just kind of checked up a little bit.
I love that move. Gibson did a great job. He blocked the bottom. He put the bumper pressure from Cabot, used to his advantage, and shot down the backstretch.
This is what I was talking about. Look at the 75. He left him just enough room. Wow, he got it rotated. You have no idea how loose your car is underneath somebody right there. I mean, just incredible driving by both of them.
That is commitment right there. Clean driving. I'm sure Briar was sitting there licking his chops saying, I know these guys are going to wreck each other and I'm going to squeeze by them both, and it just never happened. That's incredible.
Wow. How did we do on the predictor?
I think I did well.
I did bad. I didn't pick
anybody. The race winner.
I mean, I had
Alfala to win.
I picked Ray to win as well. I had Blake. I had Blake.
Let's get Ray in here. Let's talk to old 4-time. Ray Alfala, you're a winner again. This time, Blue Emu Battle number 1. Congratulations.
Thank you. That was pretty stressful there at the end, but you know, pretty good show. Those last few laps.
How much of your hand did you show in that race?
About as much as I needed to.
Wow. Ray, this car harkens back to some years where you were racking up a lot of wins. I mean, do you feel like you have a leg up on that?
Yeah, it brings back a lot of good memories. I was just commenting during the race how like the cockpit or the car itself, it makes it look like a beast, where like the current cars are more like computerized and stuff, and this thing is kind of out there, 900 horsepower at Daytona. It's pretty insane.
It's awesome. Hey, so I got a question for you. From, the fixed setup to the open setups, we're now going even faster. What is it like racing at 230, 240 miles an hour around Daytona and trying to, you know, manipulate these cars and get them to work the draft? What is that like compared to what we see, in terms of normal restrictor plate racing at Daytona for you?
Yeah, you just have to predict all of your moves like half a straightaway ahead, and not to mention the car itself is like driving a washing machine. So, like, you have to, if you're gonna make a move over there, like entering turn 3, you have to start like positioning your car midway down the backstretch to be able to make that move. So, um, no, but the setup is really fast. Obviously, got to thank Brian Blackford for the awesome base, and then Chris Overland's done a lot of work with the setup as well, and Brandon Cattell, Jake Nichols. They've done a lot of work as well with the setup. I haven't done much. I've just kind of shown up really, but it's fun to drive, and I think we have a good piece for next week.
That's awesome. Well, great job, man. It was so cool to watch. Um, so, who'd you see that was maybe some competition for you? Who you worried about? And what are you gonna be looking for in Blue Emu Battle number 2 here coming up?
Uh, well, of course, Cattell and Nichols in this race, and then in the next race, Overland's going to be fast. I think Blackford should be fast as well, and then of course, Ottinger got the pole, so he should have speed, and I'm sure I'm forgetting some guys. There's a lot of good drivers in this, so I love being in the first duel though. I can eat dinner and watch the second one.
Makes it
What's
possible.
for dinner tonight? What are we eating?
Probably some Chick-fil-A or something.
Okay. All right, there you go. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner of champions. There you have it. Ray Alfala, congratulations, winner, Blue Emu Battle number 1. We will see you next Wednesday night for the Carnomaly 500.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, and thanks to VRS and Rowdy Energy.
Awesome. Congrats, bud. Thank you.
Thanks, Ray.
There you go.
Well,
Chick-fil-A.
guys, did that? We got the appetizer already.
Yeah.
Now we go to the next course of the meal tonight in Ray Alfala terms. Blue Emu Battle number 2. What did we learn in first one?
Well, we learned that it's wild. I think I wanna award a prize though.
Oh, it's right.
So we need to award a battle scar, a relief package courtesy of Blue Emu. So in the chat, who deserves a battle scar relief package from that race? Is it Adam Cabot? Maybe missed it by an inch. Is it Gorlinski who had a rough race in a fast car? Who do you think? Leave it in the chat. We'll probably ultimately decide, but I mean, we want you guys to have a say in it, right?
Yeah, we have ultimate voting power. That's the power they give us for being here on the camera.
Yep.
Was it Malik Ray? I mean, his car took a hit in every direction.
Started last, worked his way up through the field. I mean, had himself in a shot. Chandler Parsons, I'm seeing in the chat. I seen a lot of Brad Slaughter in there too. I think
A lot of Brad Slaughter Jr.
The chat wants Brad Slaughter and a Brad Slaughter interview, so we're gonna have to get him in here at some point.
We'll work on it. We'll work on it.
So what is it? I mean, I see a lot of Cabot. I want to give it to Cabot. I mean, I think that he drove his heart out. That was some of the finest racing, most respectable racing that I've seen. I hope we see more of that tonight. I think Cabot needs to go, needs to get a Blue Emu battle scar relief package.
He gets my vote as well. He put up a valiant effort there. That was an awesome move in turns 1 and 2. He did everything he could in 3 and 4. He didn't do anything crazy. They raced it out clean. They came to the start finish line neck and neck. He came up short, but I think that's why he deserves the Blue Emu battle scars care package, which he can, put on some of those wounds, feel better, and not stink tonight. So everyone will thank him for that.
Well, the good sportsmanship doesn't stink. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, we like to see that. It's
And
good.
we're
too.
gonna let's get Brad Slaughter in here. I don't know. I mean,
Let's find him.
somebody,
Somebody work on this.
he's somebody that somebody get a hold of his PR rep and get him in here.
He has quite the fan base.
He's got a fan base.
They want him in this chat. They want him on this broadcast. Somebody find Brad Slaughter, his PR person, maybe
Yep.
a post-
There he is. Hold on, we got him here. I see he just
They
popped on.
disappear. I love this power. I love just being a TV guy. You just say things and they appear. Brad
All right,
Slaughter.
get him in
Let's
here.
get him
How do
down here. Somebody move him down here.
There he is. All right, we got him. Brad Slaughter Jr., the people's champion.
Why do
gotta
they want you in
interview.
here?
I have the best fans in the world. That's all I can say.
That's awesome.
I have the greatest
Okay.
support group out here, man. I've got some awesome friends. They're out here rooting me on and blowing up the chat for some ungodly reason, but I appreciate every one of them.
Brad, we love it. We appreciate you. You did a wonderful job in the race. Tell us about your race and where you ended up and what you're thinking for next week.
Well, we started off P32. We had a pretty rough day yesterday. Went out pretty early, but had a good, solid race setup. Car handled really well in traffic. So once tires wore out there, we got a few little, 5-lap, 6-lap runs there, and we're able to get a few guys. Missed 2 big wrecks, and right there at the end, we were in position. It just worked out, man. It's awesome, and I just want to say I appreciate all you guys for putting this on. This is so cool to be a part of. Being a part of the Firecracker and getting to come back and do this has been a lot of fun.
Great, Brad. Well, we appreciate having you, and we look forward to having you back in the future.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
thank you guys.
Say thank you to all your fans out there being in our chat.
Yep.
You got a great
Yeah.
group there, man.
Yep, shout out to all them guys.
Keep 'em on your
And,
side.
yeah,
That's great,
that's
man.
right. That's right.
Good luck next week.
Awesome.
All right,
See you,
thanks,
bud.
guys.
There you go. Brad Slaughter Jr., the people's champion.
Literally
That's great.
the people's
Well,
champion.
I see a grid, so I think we got to be close here. You can see cars are getting ready. Tracks kind of staying the same. I mean, we've got some nighttime racing. The winds are kind of calming down a little bit, but it is ripe for some high speeds tonight, Parker.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely similar temperatures to what we had before. Pretty cool. We didn't see the outside lane working. We think this would continue to be a race for the bottom. But I think, the thing I'll be interested to see is if we do get some long green flag runs, what does happen there, right? If we get a 20-lap run, 25-lap run, do we see some of these drivers start moving around? They not able to hold the bottom, get forced out of the groove a little bit more. I think that'll be awesome to see. We'll definitely see it in the Carnomaly 500, but these shorter 150s, it's gonna be close if we can get those kind of runs put together. But maybe all these drivers watched the Blue Emu Battle #1 and said, you know what, guys, let's not do what we just saw, right? Maybe they were watching this and watching that and thinking, I think we should go race green flag for most of the race, not yellow flag. And if we get that, it'd be awesome to see. So hopefully they did that.
All right, let's get a little update here. We had some shuffling in the points. New man atop the Predictor standings. Chris Overland with a nearly 1,700 point lead over Tyler Gary.
Wow.
Where did he come from?
What? I mean, that's a beast of a prediction there on the eRacr.
He must have got the top 5, called the winner. He got it perfectly. That had to be a perfect score.
It was 5,000 potential.
Huge on today. Event overall. I'm looking at event overall. He's got a big lead over Tyler Gary as well there in the overall standings. Landon still with a comfortable gap, but again, doesn't count, so just ignore him.
Get ready here. Refresh your predictors. Let's see if we can.
Yeah,
we are pacing for the next one.
We're under the pace laps now.
Well, let's take a look at the starting lineup here, shall we? Well, I will run you through it, top to bottom. All right, boys, here we go. Y'all just hang out. I got it. Colin Keister's going to be your pole sitter here for Blue Emu Battle #2 to his outside, fellow eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series driver for Kligerman Sport in the Valvoline machine. My driver, although I'm not biased for this broadcast, Isaac Gann, Kyle Putz in P3, Graham Bolin in P4, Blake Cisneros in P5, AJ Henderson, the controller king, in P6. Chris Overland, the predictor leader right now, in 7th. Michael Guest, 8th. Garrett Smithley, NASCAR driver, lean stream master, in 9th. And Brian Blackford, the best setup provider in the whole garage, will fire off from the 10th position. Blake Reynolds in 11th. Connor Babel in 12th. Ryan Doucette, 13th. Logan Helton, 14th. Timmy Holmes and Justin Bolton in row 8. Eric J. Smith, Eddie Kerner, Eddie Ball in row 9. Marcus Lindsay and Dylan Alt in row 10. Liam Brotherton, Sean Butler back there in row 11. Nicholas Morris, Brian Mercurio in row 12. Garrett Maines, Christopher Weil in row 13. Mac McMillan, David L. Brown in row 14. RNC, Ryan Naraki and Maxime Paquette in row 15. Andrew Lewis, Aaron Roofs in row 16. Ty E. Bass and Dalton Cowan in row 17. Nick Holland, Barrett Polimus in row 18. Kyle Farley, Cole Freilich, the spaceman, back there in row 19. Ross Banfield, Jared Ickes in row 20. Jared Wishin, Justin Lilla, row 21. And James Gutta, all the way back there, shotgun on the field in P43.
Great job. Oh, you remind me of the Indianapolis 500 radio announcer when you do that. It's great. It's great stuff.
Thanks.
Yeah. We also have a predictor up. Does the pole sitter maintain the lead after the first lap? That's a tough one.
Ooh, we got
Artificial
the
intelligence using poll, P-O-L-L.
Well, we don't know what he does in his. Never mind.
The computer's trying to change the way it's spelled. We've seen this computer have a mind of its own at times. It's apparently located in New Zealand because it likes good weather or something.
Kevin McAdams says, Landon, it's poll. I didn't write it.
Yeah, Landon.
Computer.
Jeez.
Jeez,
Trying to play
Landon.
the blame game here. Guys, it is artificial intelligence. We don't control these.
We have to we have to name pole sitter or name eRacr predictor, the AI. Does the computer have a name?
We haven't named it yet, but maybe Barry or something.
Barry?
Yeah,
Barry.
Barry or Alan the AI. Alan the artificial intelligence.
Al.
Al AI. Yeah, you can give him Al for short.
What about Dill? I think Dill is a good one for
Dill?
Dill.
Yeah, we'll call it Dill. Our new AI is called Dill.
Dill.
Like a pickle?
Like
Yeah.
Dylan. Dill.
Oh, okay, I see now.
Or kind of
I
like
get it.
Dale. Kind of like Dill.
Scintillating stuff, guys. The world.
Yeah, this is. You want to know how you kill time on a broadcast? This is how you do it. You think of a name for a predictive AI. That's big time production right there. Let me tell you.
Hey,
You won't get this kind of organization anywhere else. I'll promise you that. Not even on Moonvision.
By the way, if you're just joining us, as you see the pole sitter maintain the lead lap, his Boater's prediction is going away because we're going to be getting the green here soon. If you're just joining us, be sure to do ! Discord. Come join our Discord for after this. We're going to have a party in there. We got up to 100 people per channel. You can come in and have your video on. It's been a lot of fun.
Do it now.
Yeah, come on over
already-
right now. Join it. Come join our
Kitchen's
Discord.
warming up.
Get in here.
We got
Best place on the internet after this.
we got people in there right now. The kitchen is heating up. So get in there, Discord, go hang out, man. Don't just watch. Communicate. keep it
hang out.
reasonable.
Also, as we
Please.
were talking about, let's hear from Kim down on pit road.
Landon. Well, just to review what we saw in the first Battle 150, we thought going into it that most of the stops were going to be 4-tire, and that was the case, at least for the first half of the race. Then we got that caution on lap 38, and we saw a mix of strategies, guys taking 4 tires and taking 2, including Malik Ray. Now, what happened then, we saw a huge wreck as guys were mixed up on the restart with 2 and 4 tires. So we'll see if that plays into this race and how guys choose their strategy later in Battle 150.
There you go. Strategy. Thank you, Kim. Green flag in the air. Keister and Gann are gone. It's not Isaac gone, by the way. Although if he leaves the field behind, it will be gone. But for now, it's Gann. And they're lockstep formation in the 3 for the first time.
Neck and neck. McKeeser had a good push from Puts there. He's going to be able to take that lead. Isaac's going to have to find some way to get down. Oh, AJ Henderson.
That's AJ Henderson.
Oh.
Keep it up there, AJ. Keep it up there.
First lap.
Easter
Yep.
payout, yes. Everybody, yes.
Woo.
A lot of right front damage there to AJ's car as a result of smacking that wall, but could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, if it's anything like the last race, he's not out of this. See him continuing.
Working his way back through the field now.
And he's got that little bit of right front damage, but as we've said, and we said it in the first race, you can get away with a little bit of that. It's not entirely detrimental. It's not your night over, especially if you get in the pits, get a little bit of work done on it. It shouldn't totally end his night speed-wise by having to damage. These cars are pretty broken.
Notice, Parker, these guys did organize into the bottom group a little bit quicker than we saw in the first Battle 150.
Definitely.
Not as much of a snake going down the back stretch. They're not fanning out as much. I mean, are they more patient than the last group?
No, they did what they said. They watched the first race. They watched this broadcast. They were watching it. They saw all those cautions, the way the racing was going down, and said, all right, guys, let's not do that. And that's how we end up right here.
One driver who has not yet jumped onto the track is the big one. Eddie Ball, big money man himself, has not even taken the green flag yet, and that is going to be, I mean, it ain't a good thing, that's for sure.
No, that hurts. You don't even get your chance, right? You don't even get to start the race. I think he missed the grid. He hasn't been able to get in his car. Some sort of issues there, and that's just devastating. All the time and effort put into this. But, you know, it's not similar in real life. Sometimes you get in that car, you go to flip the ignition switch, and guess what happens? Nothing. And then you're sitting there going, uh-oh, we got a problem. We just saw it with Noah Gregson this past weekend in the Xfinity Series, where he had issues before the race started. They went 2 laps down in the race. So that happens.
Well, in the last Battle 150, we saw several cautions. I mean, at this point, there's not really going to be any cars a lap down. He can be getting a lucky dog several times in a row. He can get it.
But I'm feeling it.
I'm feeling it too.
Isn't that how we it's always talked about in Daytona Speed Weeks? The duels. One is crazy, one is calm. I think we know which one we got right now.
Hey, we're only on lap 6. I mean, this is we're on those laps that the tires start falling off. We're going to see somebody hit the fence any second, especially these drivers. They start entering, and I see one already. This 60 kind of sliding back there. That's what would help.
Way to wish someone in the wall. let's not just wish someone in the wall, but
well, I've watched enough of these races. I've watched enough of these races to know they're gonna hit the fence when these tires get over 300 degrees.
Poor guys, just trying to keep together. Look at AJ Henderson. I think he fell back to what, 18th, 19th there. He's starting to work his way forward again, even with that right front damage. So,
what is this? 250 points. 250 points.
Who's Paul?
I think I got it. So we just made it past. If we make it past this lap under green, we're further along than we did in the duel number 1. Oh, no, just as I say that.
Battle number 1, Parker.
Sorry, battle.
That's a big stack up right there. Big stack up. Logan Helton in the splash and go machine right behind Ryan Doucette. He's got Dylan Alt breathing down his neck. Liam Brotherton in the outside lane. Garrett Main's there as well. It's amazing. They all didn't just come together there. It's Christopher Weil at the back of that train, but it's the runs, the rubber band effect is just so massive. You get that run, you stick to it, and you hope you don't make contact.
These couple are really close together. They're down to turn 3. They were squeezing.
Ooh, contact up in the wall. Eric J. Smith up in the wall and passing Brotherton.
Everything's straight. Everything's straight. They're still going. That's amazing. But that's going to be a lot of
they're not done yet. He's going to get hit. He's around. He got hit. He got hit. Oh, no. And they keep wrecking. Jared Ickes involved. David Brown.
Oh, right into him.
It's getting worse.
Yes.
Oh, again.
Oh,
Just ran into him.
They just keep piling into each other.
oh.
He just ran into him. I don't know what else to say.
What in the world?
I mean, I know he's way slow, but he just ran into him.
So the worst part of that was they got through the hard part. He hit off the wall, came across traffic, got through clear. They all gathered it up, and at that point, they just had to pick which lane that he wasn't in, and they still ran into each other.
So this starts way ahead with Eric J. Smith as he got put up into the fence with a little contact from Logan Helton coming out of turn 4.
We're gonna
Helton
see
got
this off
loose.
before.
There's Helton, and that was the contact. Smith holds onto it. Brotherton got some damage. Everyone bobbing and weaving. When Rocky threads the needle, and then David Brown just runs into him.
Man, it's unfortunate. Eric Smith running those track house numbers. He actually works at track house. I found that
And he got hit by more cars. Nick Holland hit him. Dalton Cowden hit him late as Eric J. Smith took flight. Overhead shot here. This will tell the story really clearly.
Yeah. So he squeezed Doucette into the corner. Then he started to slide up, and then it's just he tries to come back down using it's almost a diamond effect.
Did Helton get the apron there a little bit?
He definitely did. So that happens to these cars. You're going so fast. If you touch that apron, it doesn't just de-wedge the car, it knocks it up a groove. So you've got to be really, really disciplined when you're right on that yellow line on the apron. You can't play with it. You can't touch it unless you have the room to get away with it off four, or you're getting out of the throttle. Oh, she just run into him. They were they had one lane they couldn't be in.
I've been trying to think of a different way to frame what happened. I just can't. All I can say is he just ran into him.
No. Oh.
Huge hits for the Tabasco ride.
Was that the Tabasco ride? That was a cool ride. Andrew Lewis.
Yeah, Lewis involved, and again, Dalton Cowden was involved. Ugh. As we had the whole field come down pit road, Keister's going to lead him out. Gann, Overland, Bolin, Putz will be the top 5.
Well,
Michael Guest lost his connection. That's tough for him. We got cars on pit road. Ickes involved there on pit road along with Cowden. Ty E. Bass involved. Andrew Lewis, as you said, in the Tabasco machine getting damage fixed. Eric J. Smith, I think that's terminal. Jared Wishon, David Brown. And again, it's like I said in the last one. The guy who touches off the wreck, he's got the best looking race car of anybody involved in the whole thing. And I don't mean that like his paint scheme. His paint scheme's nice. We talked about that yesterday. But the damage to that machine is minimal compared to everything else that took place around him.
it's like he was the eye of the storm, right?
Yeah.
Somehow it all happened around him and didn't get all that damage. So that I had high hopes for us to go green for a major stretch there. It had the feel that we could do it. Now that we've given everyone a chance to put on new tires, sort it all back out. Now they've moved some positions in those first couple of laps. I don't have high hopes going green much more, guys.
Well, we made it. Why? What lap did the
that's
cars
it?
come out on? Lap 9?
Parker, you lost hope already.
I lost hope.
That's it.
I'm done. Come on. I've voted it in, guys. It's done. We're done here.
Come on, no. We're gonna see some great
What's that
racing.
Valvoline? How strong is that Valvoline you're drinking, man?
Yeah.
Well, it's a special proof, to be honest. So. Oh. Let's see. I hope I'm wrong. I'm just trying reverse psychology. I didn't want to say it. I'm trying reverse psychology. So every time I think it's going to go well and we're going to get some green flag racing, that's when the wreck ensues. So I'm just hoping this time if I just say, look, we're just have a ton of cautions, we're all going to wreck, we'll have green flag racing.
Kidoki. What lap was the yellow? Was that lap 9? Like the
Lap
first one?
9. Yes.
All right, so both races, first caution, lap 9.
I thought it was 2 laps later. The first one was 7.
Was it?
Both 9.
Your face right there was awesome. You're like,
Wait, who?
yes. Yes.
Well, I like my storyline better than yours, so I'm going to say it first caution, lap 9 in both races.
Do we get participation trophies for the Predictor? Yes. If you just play the Predictor, although you're far behind us in the points, don't worry. Just play and get you entered into giveaways. So we're going to be giving a ton of stuff away. Just keep playing.
Well,
Also,
hey,
the Blue Emu giveaway is going on.
yeah, actually, exclamation point battle scars in the chat. Agree.
And back to yellow. My goodness, we got it piled up. Barrett Polimus around. What in the world was this? He just stopped accelerating.
Oh,
I'm going to be that blunt. He just stopped accelerating, and David Brown, the irony of it all, runs into him. And then he gets turned. Oh
So
my
yeah,
goodness.
we're gonna get another shot at it here. This is interesting to say the least.
Let's see it on the replay. Just stopped accelerating.
Oh,
Missed a
man.
gear. It's like he missed a gear.
Yeah, missed a shift or something.
Yeah.
A Carnomaly house car.
Okay, so it's again. What do you do when the car in front of you just doesn't go? You got no choice. You just run into him.
Yeah.
Usually, I just try to spin them out to the left. You know, so that's one of those situations where I'm hoping I hit them perfectly, that they sort of just plow out of the way.
Yeah.
Which I tried about 2-3 years ago at Atlanta with a car and caused a ginormous wreck. So it doesn't work that often. It looks a lot more like this situation.
Indeed, be right on board.
So a little bit hanging back, and then something definitely goes wrong because he just doesn't accelerate.
He just never went.
Yeah. So he was hanging back a little bit, then he tried to catch the ones in front, and then he must have been in the wrong gear or missed a shift or something there. Put it in neutral. He doesn't go, and they all run the back of him.
Yikes. I need to know more about your story at Atlanta.
Well, it was many eons ago, for long time. And, well, I think it was the 2018 truck race in Atlanta. We were coming down the late race restart. I think I was like, I don't know, 7th or something. Further back, we had been shuffled back to some pit strategy. I wasn't too happy, and the car in front of me started spinning the tires. And so I decided to try and give them the boot. And, well, when they spun, they were going to go left, and then they came back right. Nailed me in the left side, spun me into the field, and the wreck ensued. And yeah, no one was happy with me. So
if we asked the other driver, would he tell the story the same way?
Yeah, he'd say I wrecked him. Definitely. So I think
Wrecked him.
I wrecked him. So I've seen this before. Is this story true? Of course it's true. I wouldn't tell a fake story here.
Wrecked him. Damn near killed him.
Do we get the name of the other driver? Do we have to do our own research?
I don't want to say that because I can't remember exactly who it was I was hitting, because it's actually happened twice before. So both times in Atlanta where that went down. I think the first time I got away with it. The second time, not so lucky.
Wait a sec. We've got a driver in the booth who has been famously quoted on air talking about how to wreck somebody without wrecking yourself.
That's right.
No, I didn't say how. I just said that was rule number 1 of stock car racing. You gotta know how to wreck someone without wrecking yourself.
In the chat, someone just reminded me it was Jesse Little. Sorry, Jesse. That's right. It
Okay.
was him. I did.
Oh.
Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
So
So you got a validation in the chat.
Yeah,
Well, we
they
still all got paid.
No, it was true. The predictor was wrong. The story was true. Someone knew who it was who I wrecked.
Oh man, I saw a
There
couple
they
questions on how to play the predictor. Make sure you check in on the eRacr icon on the right hand side of your screen.
Down there. Well, that's looks weird. so I'm not gonna do that. Normally, if I'm in the big deal, I'm right next to it, so it'd be like there. But it's there, but just down there somewhere.
Oh,
Go down there, click the ER. I got there eventually.
Oh, here we go. We're gonna teleport
Oh, no,
Parker so we
I
get Parker
teleport him.
point.
Let's see it. How can we get Parker to the right?
There we go.
Oh, yeah, there we go. There it is.
Right there, right there. That's where the ER is. Hover over that, click it, you get the Predictor app. Just click that button right next to me. So now go, bring us back up. Elevator back up. Thank you.
I'll say this. Nobody touches a wet racetrack like Parker Kligerman. Nobody points at the eRacing Predictor like Parker Kligerman.
We all have to have talents. Sometimes you discover them. Sometimes you're lucky to discover them. Sometimes you got to search, and I'm still searching. But it seems like there's a trend here.
That's inspirational.
Yeah,
We're all searching.
Searching for green flag racing. That's what we're searching for. We haven't found too much of it yet.
I forget. Is there a race happening? I thought this was like a podcast.
Yeah, we're going green. We're going back green, David. Call it.
Okay, perfect. Pace car off. Keister in control. Overland to his outside. Gann now second car on the inside lane. Bolin to his outside. Overland slips down in front of Gann. We're back underway.
Lots of they're almost slot in.
Yeah.
Some peel being put together there. Slot each other in. This outside Overland. He Mr. Aggressor himself. He never backs down to the outside, trying to make it work for the lead. I don't think he's going to have to help. Isaac Gander's going to push Keister back by him.
Yeah, Overland didn't have a deal with anybody. Let's take a look at the transfer spot, though. They are side by side with the transfer spot.
Mercurio in the red and white 41. It's just a hornet's nest back there. I wouldn't want to be back there.
Garrett Smithley, there you see him in the Wits Racing products. He's putting on the first challenge car. He's fallen back just a little bit into the sort of the storm behind him. He's stuck in that outside lane. He needs to do work to get away from this.
That was a big move by Liam Brotherton to get down in front of Mac McMillan into one. McMillan cut him a little bit of a break there. As we ride on board with Cole Freilich. Going around, or Sean Butler rather. Oh, there we go. Sean Butler in the Pennzoil machine. You know that pains
on the Valvoline onboard.
On the Valvoline onboard, showing the Pennzoil car.
You get last say on which oil gets on this broadcast, all right? I didn't calculate.
I just working that top. I know you said it looked like some drivers had made to get to the bottom. Where do you think the deals were cut off, Parker? You think it was around 12th? 15th? I mean, it seemed like the top 8 together.
I would say it's probably that top 5, 6, maybe back to 7, but that's that. They're racing tough because you're starting to get in a place where you're going to get, any sort of fatal mistake or getting shoved in outside lane can suck you back towards that bottom side of the top 20, and you don't want to be there because that's that hornet's nest we've been seeing is, whoa, another big move there down into one, almost trying to go below the yellow line. I couldn't quite tell who it was, but that is a risky move. It didn't work in the Blue Emu Battle number 1. Don't do it here in number 2. You want to use those below the yellow line passes down here into turn 3.
It takes 2 to make that work. It doesn't matter where you want to do it. It's about the guy trying to do it to make you get back up.
Guys, Garrett Smithley has not been able to get down. That's him with 53 on the top. He's going to fall outside the top 20 if he loses another spot here. There he goes. He is now outside the Trans-Service transfer spot. Garrett Smithley has got some work to do.
Got 40 laps to get there as he gave up another spot now to Christopher Weil. He's got Cole Freilich filling up his mirror as Naraki slides up in front of him. Good little battle here around that 20th position. Naraki, we talked about him using massive strategy, staying out what he's known for to make it into this event here tonight. Hanging out right where he needs to be.
Back to the bottom, that was key. Now it's just about being smart. I know I say we've got so many laps to go, but it's also just putting yourself around that many cars and that many cars that are trying desperately to get to that spot. It's just, there's network effects of that. Whoa, is that trailer sliding?
Yeah.
Look at that
big move. That's not good for the tires right there.
No way. That was epic. It was like he's slide jobbing himself.
Kim's got an interesting report on our leaders. Isaac Dan running in third. Kim?
Yeah, Landon, so I got some insight from his teammate, Blake Canlis, who said they actually had the same setup. Remember, Blake ran in the first battle, and Blake complained that his car was loose, while Isaac Dan complaining his car is being extremely hard to handle, very, very tight, won't turn, especially through the corners. So why would that be? Two teammates, same setup. The track conditions have not changed that much from the first battle to the second. So I'm going to throw it back to you, Landon and Parker, for driver teammates to be complaining about two completely different things on the same setup.
Yeah, Kim, thank you for that report. As you were giving that report, we just watched Isaac, drop like a rock from the lead to fifth here, and you can see him try to run in the second groove, and he got super tight, had to get out of the gas. So, yeah, it could just be driving style. The way you drive these cars, you got to lift pretty early, get it on the right rear in the middle of the corner. If Isaac is overdriving the entry, that could be making it tight. That would probably be what I think would cause that.
You saw that great move on Blake Reynolds, and as he goes off to the center of the corner, you see him slide up a little bit. And you're exactly right, Landon. It's about driver style and just sort of the biggest place you can hurt that right front is really on the entry of the corners. You can set these cars on the right front, and it can make it a little bit more comfortable on the entry. You can make it one of those things where you're just sort of leaning on it more than the right rear to protect the right rear. But if you do it too much, you see him slide up again. Now he's having to dime in the corners a little bit. That's when you can start to really pay the price of leaning on it too much. So I was going to say when she was saying that he was leading, I was like, man, I know I like this kid a lot, but now I really like him because he's in the lead of a race and complaining about how the car drives. Reminds me of a guy who's participating in this event here tonight, two-time Cup Series champion Kyle Busch, who it doesn't matter if he's leading by 20 seconds, he always has something wrong with that race car.
It can always get better, right?
Yep. That's true. I've never had a perfect car.
Ever?
Never.
Wow.
It's always going to be better. Yeah. It's like there's never a perfect lap. We see Isaac now down the right side of the screen trying to hold off Blake Reynolds. Chris Overland there, he was aggressive trying to get to that lead. Then he got it, and his car looks really good. Kyle Putz, we know how much effort he's been putting in this event. He looks great. Graham Bowen right there in the top three. They're all hooked to the bottom. Looking really good as we take a look back at this transfer spot. Racing hot and heavy. Oh, they're coming up.
Gosh, that's Ty Bass up on the high side. Sean Butler barely squeezed by him. Bass into the wall. He'll keep it up there as the lapped car. Everybody scatters behind him, but Sean Butler hanging tough on the outside battle with Brotherton. Now looks inside of Mercurio as Doucette behind him takes a peek inside Brotherton.
That's 16, still going slow after getting in the wall in turn
That's
2.
Ty Bass there, the lap machine.
Yeah, he was just trying to get out of the way of the leaders.
Yeah, he did a good job of that.
Graham Bowen looking to the outside of Kyle Putz here.
Well, that sort of started back into the race. Kyle Putz had a bit of a run on Overland. He looked, I think
we got crashed. We got one car around. That's Garrett Smithley.
Oh,
Garrett Smithley around on the front
And
straightaway.
they're still right behind him too.
Oh, this is going to be awkward right here because he got help from AJ Henderson, but the Smithley machine really just lost a lot of speed on the front stretch. And it looks like he got tripped up on the apron, and AJ had nowhere to go. Let's look at the replay here.
Oh!
Already in progress. You see Smithley around after the tap from AJ Henderson, but Smithley was already in trouble, and AJ really had nowhere to go.
And that's the second big hit, as you saw there, for AJ Henderson with the right side of the wall. That is going to hurt it now. Now you get away with one, lightly ones, but that second one, that's going to hurt him for sure. So I think Garrett, though, gets away with that with not too much damage. He could fight back.
Yeah, that's...
Ooh.
Rear end's a little center punched as there's more chaos behind them as they scattered. Miss it. That was Kalen Farley in the 32 getting fenced by Aaron Roofs. roof with the fence. There's a lot of home improvement going on. They need some car improvement too. That's terrible. That's a terrible joke.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Oh my gosh.
10 out of 10.
Oh,
All right,
boy.
this is
Easy
for
one,
Chris.
guys.
This is for your leader. What's he gonna do? Freebie.
I got this.
Stays out.
Fuel only.
No pit stop.
Crew's eating ice cream. Can't help it.
Yeah, stay out there, bud. We like the view. Get your pick in. He's trying to trick all the predictors. That's because he's probably still playing it as a leader. We saw him get a huge amount of points on the predictor in Blue Emu Battle #1. Now he's leading #2 and probably trying to mess with our predictor there. We'll see how many tires he takes. Slides in the box. There's the right sides, and the left side's going to go up. That's 4 tires. 4 Goodyear Eagles and full Sunoco race gas here, guys. Thank you. Off the line.
Just got a message from race control that lap 9 and lap 27 were the cautions in the last race, and lap 9 and lap 28 2 cautions we've seen in this race so far.
Oh, you were right, David. To bring that
Things
back.
I love to hear. I don't hear it often enough, but I appreciate you saying it.
Yeah, no, you were totally right. I can't believe it. I was wrong.
Some trends
Unbelievable.
happening.
Is that America's crew chief trends?
No. Can Landon? Can you describe Hucklebuck again? Hucklebucking.
Hucklebuck, absolutely. You know, that's a good one to talk about too, especially with these open setups and
Here we go
you know,
again.
the different types of cars that we have in the field. You know, a car that's what was the other one that I said? Waggling a little bit. You know, waggling. Not as much waggling. You know, I feel like for the drivers that have maybe a stiffer right rear coil bind type package. When they go over the bumps, it's gonna hucklebuck, you know. So the car's gonna, you know, a hucklebuck is a violent bounce.
Can we mute
different than a porpoise? Okay, porpoising
What?
is when you see more. It's
Oh
more
my
like when the car is
God.
going front to back. Guys, these are real terms. I mean, Parker, you know.
I've used porpoise. I have never heard waggle and hucklebucking until last
You
night.
didn't spend enough time with the same race teams that he was driving for. I
Apparently,
guess.
we've just
Am
been
I-
at the race team.
Am I
Tab.
unmuted? Okay, I'm back. So, waggle, hucklebuck, and porpoising. Those are three words. They're all going to be on the test. You guys need to study it. Make sure you
Porpoising
know.
for sure is real, by the way. The other two, I don't know. You might even go into the Connor Daly dictionary of race car description there. He likes to describe his cars with snakes, slippery snakes underneath them. And,
So
oh,
here's the
man,
real
man.
question, Landon. Of all those crazy things you just said, hucklebuck, turkey walk, porpoise, waggle, which one would you prefer to have in mind?
Well, first of all, it's not turkey walk, it's crab walking, and you would like crab walking. I mean,
No,
you
no,
know,
no.
get
There's
your
turkey
car,
walk.
all that.
Turkey walk the thing. How dare
What's a
you?
turkey walk? You know, if I had to have one of them, I mean, a hucklebuck isn't too bad. You can deal with a hucklebuck. Porpoising is seems unfixable at times, wouldn't you say, Parker?
Porpoising's no fun. That's where it starts and then it doesn't want to stop. And it's going like this. And it's doing that a lot. Yep. No, I'm with you on that one. That's a real one.
You guys are making fun of me.
The turkey
go
walk.
back to
That's a
racing.
DWism. That's a
Let's keep it
DWism.
green. Let's keep it green.
All right, here we go. Graham Boland's the leader now. And Smithfield Ford out front takes the green flag. Keister to his outside will tuck in line. Front row for Lindquist. Dives down in front of Dan. Reynolds follows suit in front of Brian Blackford. Haven't talked about Blackford yet tonight in the 7th position.
He's been quiet. He's been sneaking up there. That's his modus operandi. That Brian Blackford loves, as we go to the Valvoline onboard here, to just basically take his time with it. That's Blake Reynolds just ahead of him. There he is. That's Brian Blackford. He takes his time. He takes care of the car. He takes care of the tires. It's just the way he is. But you will see him here late in the race make a run at that top 5, make a run at the top 3, possibly the lead. That's just how he operates. Sort of lays back, almost like that Harry Gant style a little bit. Modern day Harry Gant. That's always funny that he runs the 33 green car because it reminds me of him. So I think we'll see him up there as we get later in this race.
Yeah, it is Brian Black Ford driving a blue Chevy. Danny Lempool, great friend, made his attempt for the Carnomaly 500 back in preliminaries last week. Texted me today, just like, man, I'm looking forward to watching Brian Blackford run. He's so smooth, and I think smooth is such a good description. It's a great compliment to a driver when he calls something smooth, and that's exactly Brian's stuff.
Right now, Kyle Putz just shot it down the inside. Inside Chris Overland. Isaac Gann went to the top. It's not going to work. He's going to slot back in behind them. Hopefully he's made some adjustments to that 44 car and tried to loosen up. Kim gave us that great report that he's struggling with really tight race cars. Oh, he shoots the bottom. Kyle and him
This battle.
They just mess each other.
This battle is incredible with Gann and Putz.
Oh,
He got him! He got him! Isaac gets hooked! No! Play machine up and over Isaac Gann. Massive aerial there out of 4. As he and Kyle Putz got together, everybody scrambles down the front straightaway, and it appears it's just going to be those 2 cars. But one of the fastest cars in all of Daytona, Isaac Gann with a lot of damage to the front of the Valvoline machine.
That was a little over aggressive. I thought the backstretch was even as his owner in the eNASCAR series. I'm gonna call this impartially. They had some great moves down the backstretch. Those were totally acceptable, but to give someone the bumper right now and put all that air in the left rear, I think that was just a little aggressive right now. Oh, hard hit from Valvoline.
Everybody missed him. Everybody missed him. And Kyle Putz gets away relatively unscathed, too.
Yeah, I mean, Isaac really is the one that got the worst of it.
Yeah. Like when Parker turned Jamie Little.
Jesse Little.
Which,
Close.
or Jesse Little. Oh, not Jamie Little. Yeah, that. Now that would make a lot of sense, and I'm not the one drinking. Maybe I need to.
Well, I will
that's
humbly
wild.
admit that I am updating my top 5 right now.
I'm going to have to as well. This is that hurt me in a lot of ways. So
That hurts. Yeah,
that's a tough one.
I'm so impressed that everybody missed him though, and as they went through the grass, they went through the front straightaway on the track. No further incidents as everybody's down pit road now. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a big one. That's a big one. I mean, we talked about teammates with Blake McCandless, fast car, fast setup, and we won't know the extent of the damage, but it looked pretty significant. As cars down and off of pit road, first car away is going to be Garrett Maines. Going to be the first car off pit road, but he's not the first on track. Christopher Weil, Aaron Roofs, and Liam Brotherton stayed out.
I mean, I'm looking at our production chat right now, and I've got race control giving me trends of the race that are continuing. Race lap 35 for the last race caution, lap 34 this time, and Kim, I think Kim wanted to talk about some tire strategies because I think we're just seeing everything play out the same as before. Kim?
I talked at the top of the broadcast how we saw late in the first battle during a lap 38 caution different tire strategies. We saw some drivers take 2, some take 4. It obviously mixed things up but ended up causing a big wreck. So we'll continue to watch these late race cautions to see if the drivers took note in the first battle and said, no, we don't want to do that. We don't want to take 2. We want to make sure we have 4 tires, or if they decide to mix it up and how it plays out, and if we end up getting some of those late wrecks because there's different tire strategies.
Great point, Kim. Thank you so much. That's right. This is, differing strategies creates a bit of jumbling up of the field. What are we going to see now? This is some people just rolling the dice saying, you know what? Why not try something? You're sitting outside the top 20. You're far in the back. You've avoided some wrecks. put all your chips on the table, say, you know what, I'm going to take this caution. Maybe we get a 5-lap run. We get a, a pit stop, and you just stole a bunch of track position.
This makes me nervous. Front row, old tires with a field of fresh tires behind them. Landon, you're thinking what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I think you can see it on my face. I mean, how many laps are we looking at on roofs and wheel up there?
A lot.
They have a lot. Enough in these cars.
Yeah.
Definitely enough.
It's a recipe for disaster.
Still haven't found a manufacturer for Christopher.
Oh, come on, man.
He's got significant rear end damage too. He's been center punched right between the rookie stripes and the car to his outside. Aaron Roofs, we talked about him, had a little bit of contact in a prior wreck. His right rear's bent up. The right front's seen better days as well. So we've got a couple of somewhat wounded cars here on the front row for this restart. Yikes.
Yeah,
that's
major damage.
I'm being told from Blake McCandless that Isaac Gann, out of all of that, 25 seconds of damage.
So he's still in this. And with all
How do
these
they
cars,
build these cars out of?
well, the COT was like that. I won't lie. It was a beast. It was a tank of a race car. You could get away with some serious things back then. So we're gonna get the green flag here. This is gonna be one of the most interesting restarts of the night, guys.
Very tentative roll away. Mains gave a lot of space, as did Blake Cisneros. Wild gets a good getaway, not as much for Roofs as it stacks up that outside line. Cisneros nowhere to go. Losing position, there goes Overland. There goes Keister to the inside line. Roofs is going to drive him up to the wall. Here comes Mercurio up behind Roofs, now 3 wide off at 2.
They somehow kept it together. We're gonna be free wide at the front. Blocked by
I'm holding my
Mains.
breath. I'm
Oh,
holding my breath.
Ford got by.
Aaron.
They are
AJ
free wide
Henderson
all over
sneaks
the
back.
racetrack.
Up front, Bolin takes the lead away after a big scrambler. 3 wide for third. Blake Reynolds slices to the bottom in front of Mains. They're chopping each other off. Racing really aggressively here as we get close to 20 laps to go. That got really dicey. Garrett Mains was not happy on the radio with what he saw into 3 last time.
Guys, I'm actually very impressed with many of these drivers, on different tire strategies here, navigating their way around, holding on to these race cars. Oh, Blackbird goes up the track there. That got very close.
I mean, some of these drivers are really aggressive on the outside. I mean, if you're stuck on the outside, Parker, I think you have to be aggressive because you can't just hope into a hole behind you. It's you at the bottom, been checking up.
You've got to be right now. You've got to go. You just have to go. You don't know. You just got to get away from the cars behind you. Try and find yourself in the bottom lane, a little bit of clear tracks, somewhere a little safer, a little bit of defense and offense at the same time right now. It's just crucial that you push as hard as you can. Blackbird's struggling up on that high side right now.
We'll get down in front of Ryan Doucette off of turn 4. As this pack settles down, still a fight for the lead. You see Overland on the outside lane fighting for second. He's been making it work, pushes ahead of Keister for the time being, but now Keister on the inside lane, bringing Blake Reynolds with him. Remember, lucky to have a race car under him at this point.
Yeah, it's amazing he's still going. Amazing.
Oh, Brian Mercurio turned! Mercurio turned in the middle of the backstretch, in the middle of the field. AJ Henderson involved. Ryan Mercurio in the 041 gets turned around in the middle of the backstretch after a scuffle with Nicholas Morse, a bump gone wrong. Maxime Maquette involved in that as well, but Mercurio gets the tough end of that deal.
That might be the end of the night for AJ Henderson. That's the third hit that car has taken.
I mean, maybe, but he was hanging on pretty tight. Right.
That's another big hit
spot.
on the right side. But let's look at the replay here. From high overhead, you see that's Nicholas Morse down below the yellow line. Mercurio covers the spot. Morse tries to come back up in line and just catches him.
Oh,
Big blink for Mercurio. AJ Henderson into him right there. Amazing, not more cars caught up in this when a car gets turned around in the middle of the backstretch.
Yeah, normally when you see a car go right like that into traffic, that is we're about to see a ton of wrecked vehicles. And somehow they all sift through it. Unfortunately, AJ Henderson was just an innocent bystander there in the wrong place at the wrong time. Picked the wrong way.
Damn. I'm watching this and I'm looking. I think Nick Morse was just trying to get back up in line behind Mercurio, realizing the pass wasn't there, and just mistimed it.
Yeah. But
he just misjudged it.
And often we see that though. You know, that looks reminiscent of what Dale Jr. in 09 Daytona 500 there down below the O line with Brian Vickers, and that was a huge wreck back then. As we see everyone coming down pit road. I would assume we'll see many 4-tire calls here. For some of those that stayed out, though, this is their chance. This is perfect. So those who stayed out or took 2 tires there, they stole that track position right now. Now you get a chance to put 4 new tires on, and you just leapfrogged a bunch of cars.
Another shot down the Daytona super stretch as Mercurio gets turned. All those cars behind him. Maxime Maquette gets kicked up in the air. And there's AJ Henderson in the wall, but everybody taking evasive action, diving low. Miss Brian Mercurio. Good shots right there.
Could have been a 10-car pile. Easily.
It's not often you turn a car around in the middle of the field like that at these speeds and don't get more involved. Told that 4 out of the top 5 took 2 tires on this stop. That's going to get Maines out ahead of Dylan Alt, Sean Butler, Colin Keister. And Christopher Weil gets his tires now, and now is back to somewhat of a relevant strategy to keep him up in that top 5.
I'm telling you, that might have been the call of the night. Those drivers that stayed out, they got the perfectly timed caution. They now come in, as Christopher Weil did. You got 4 tires, and you just stole 20 or 15 positions on the racetrack. Excellent move.
And it's not illegal to steal in this case. It's actually encouraged.
Absolutely. It's a competition. All is fair in love and war, David. All is fair.
I do think that is the Pink Ranger. I don't know if we have a nickname for that car or not, but that's the Pink Ranger.
The pink. I like it. That works. It sticks.
Well, when we get this restart, let's see. Is it 1 to go here? It is 1 to go. So we'll get the restart. And it should be 16 laps to go when we get the green flag. Far from the end of this race. A lot of shuffles up at the front. A lot of small wrecks that could have been bigger. Landon, around this time in the first Blue Emu Battle, I think he said it, we haven't seen the big one yet. How are you feeling now?
Yeah, we haven't seen it yet, but we've seen a lot of aggressive racing up front. I mean, in the top 5 aggressive racing. So, you know, I know you said that sometimes the first one can be calm, the second one can be crazy, or vice versa. Maybe both of them can be crazy. So it'll be interesting to see how this goes out. We still got to hand out a Blue Emu Battle Scars relief package right now. I think our boy AJ Henderson might be taking that one after having 3 unlucky hits. But a lot of racing left. All eyes on the top 20.
I think AJ would definitely be a early contender for the Blue Emu Battle Scar pack after this one. I think he's just been hit, slammed to the wall. He's been all over the place for sure. I'm just looking back, guys, at that transfer position before we go green here. We've got Garrett Smithley, who's right on the bubble there. Timmy Holmes, Marcus Lindsley, Ryan Nowaki, Logan Helton. It's sort of jumping around right now, but we've got about 4 or 5 cars back there that are going to be serious contenders. We saw them be quick to the prelims. They're all right there trying to make it in.
Top
Alrighty, here we go.
Going to 15 to go.
Garrett Maines on pole for the restart. Alt down immediately to cover that inside spot in front of Sean Butler. Keister probably going to follow suit to get in front of Weil. Weil side by side with Graham Bolin. Sports on the inside lane side by side with Chris Overland.
Look at that.
Eyes again. Oof.
He's up into the top 15, guys, with that car.
Wow.
I think that's Valvoline powering that thing with some extra speed under the hood. That virtual machine right there.
Can't be stopped. Won't be stopped.
Nope.
That's not
Great
their
comeback
jingle.
there.
I don't know.
I don't know. I like it.
Oh, we got a
Big
kick
Power
on
though.
Weil. Weil up in
Wild
the
giving
wall.
everything up.
Gotta hold
No!
on to it. Nobody's gonna hit him here yet.
Still clear. Everything's clear.
It'll be 3 wide on entry. Marcus Lindsay sneaks through the middle. We stay green.
That amazing strategy call. It all played out, and now he puts himself right into the eye of the storm, trying to get back in the transfer spot. Oh, that's devastating. I hate that.
See Doucette go 3 wide on the bottom there with Brotherton and Justin Bolton. Haven't mentioned Bolton's name yet tonight. Finds himself in the 12th position as they cross the line, still 3 wide with Brotherton and Doucette.
I mean, like I just said, there's just a ton of hard racing right now. I mean, I know we're focused on the top 20 transferring into the Carnomaly 500, but obviously every position is worth a row in the starting grid of the Carnomaly 500. So maybe that's what the racing turn 3.
That looks awesome. I know we don't really like safety races and such, that we don't know why, but it is so cool to see some of these cars
Really
fake down there, and you know they're sliding, and then they slide back up into the corner. I just find that to be so cool. I love it.
It shows that these guys are willing to compromise their corner entry to protect that inside line too, and that's a delicate balance that I've been watching, because you really got to low it up to block that bottom, and you know that you're going to have to really slow it down, not be able to turn the corner. It's that important to make sure you don't slide up and give up the bottom.
It is, and you open up that opportunity when you do that for someone to get to the back bumper, to sort of get you loose or move you out of the way, or as Isaac and Kyle Putz had, they got together off of turn 4.
Oh, contact there! Timmy Holmes saves it across the nose of Blackford. 3 wide, they save it. How did Timmy Holmes save that car? Gann to the middle. They ran Wrecking behind him, and Ryan Naraki is up in the air. Naraki hard contact there. As the field scattered behind Timmy Holmes, that's contact between Cole Freilich and Marcus Lindsay. And Ryan Naraki gets involved. The dream may be over for Naraki as he gets absolutely rocked after the wall gets smashed by Ross Banfield, who came in like a bull in a china shop.
So that was an incredible save once again down the bottom. We saw that same thing in battle number 1, where we saw a couple of cars get together off forward of the tribal. They saved it, but then the real wreck happened like this one as we got into 1, basically. It's sort of like the cars that were slowed up caused a little bit of a checkup. That's awesome. Oh, just gonna get right reared by Freilich there. He slid up into him.
Yeah. Lindsay's been really aggressive through the middle a couple of times, and it finally bit him. You see Naraki in the 37, already wrecked, but here comes Ross Banfield in and smacks him one more time for good measure.
So what do we think here? Are we pitting? Are we not pitting? I mean,
this is an interesting one, and if you do, I think if you take 2 tires, maybe keep that track position. So this is one of the eRacr Predictor is a really hard call, guys.
This is a tough one. This one's real tough. I can't answer this one. I can't answer it.
I don't know what you
2 tires for me. 2 tires, right sides and go.
Yep.
We've seen 2 tires work. Obviously, that was fixed setup racing. Garrett Smithley comes to mind when he pulled that strategy. Again, very important to say that was fixed setup, not the open setups we're doing tonight, but 2 tires did work for him enough to stay around and transfer.
I changed my answer 3 times there before on the last 2 seconds. I went 4 tires for Keister here. I don't know. I just had a sense. I think 2 tires is the right call, but I have a feeling he'll do 4.
I really want to be out in front now that we're going to be under 10 to
Let's
go
see.
on the restart. Right side's
side.
up, right side down. Gonna be 4.
Wow. That's 75.
Not for Blake Reynolds, not for Garrett Maines, not for Dylan Alt, not for Sean Butler. Isaac Gann out 5th in line as well.
I knew it. That's
Parker, I don't want to take the strategy from you because you called this. I don't know if that's what you picked up the predictor. It's not what I
did.
Oh, you did pick. You picked 4. Okay, so what was your thought process on 4 tires? Because I have thoughts, but I want to hear what you thought about it.
I was thinking about his position as the leader, and I thought, he's in a position where, yes, there's a few laps to go, but he can only lose so many spots as a leader.
Yep.
Taking 4, don't take the risk. Take your 4, move back to where he's going to end up, 7th, 8th. Take your lumps there, and hopefully you can maybe get a run on the outside, pass some of these cars, and get back to lead. But you'd hurt yourself more taking 2 and having 10 cars behind you take 4 and be in a worse position.
Yeah.
I don't know if you agree.
No, you're absolutely right. When he was going down pit road and you were saying that you thought he might take 4, it occurred to me that he's got the #1 pit stall.
Yep.
He's got the cleanest in. So that in itself is just a couple seconds of advantage over 5th on back, right? So he can give up a little bit. That was a good move. It may work out for him. It may not, but he's the first guy on 4 tires, so that was a good move.
He'll be in the 7th position. I think that's absolutely 100% the correct call. If you're some of these guys who took 2 tires, like Isaac Gann, Dylan Alt, Garrett Maines, Blake Reynolds, they were within, shouting distance of the top 10, if not already in there. And they just didn't feel confident where their pit stall was to take 4 and still be in that good spot. Probably banking on more cautions. You want that track position, but for Colin Keister, yeah, I agree. That's the right call, 4 tires.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it's defense, right? What we saw there for Keister, that's defense. That's just taking the smart call. What we saw by Isaac Gann and Reynolds and Alt and Maines taking 2, that's defense in itself because they were at the backside of the top 10. And it only takes a little something to go wrong, and suddenly you're on the backside of the top 20, and you're not advancing. So you take the lump here of knowing that maybe you're not going to win this race, but you're going to put yourself in a better position to actually transfer, which is the bigger fight.
Hey, one thing to keep in mind here for these drivers that took 2 tires, they didn't just take 2 tires on this stop. A lot of them took 2 tires on the last stop too.
Interesting. So they're really stretching out those left sides. Well, here we go again, guys.
8 laps to go when they get the green flag for the restart. Let's give you a rundown of who's where. Blake Reynolds will lead them down. Maines in 2nd. Alt, Butler, Gann, the top 5. Brotherton, Keister, Overland, Bolin, Smithley. Nice recovery for Garrett Smithley back to 10th. Puts, Bolton, Cisneros, Morse, Blackford, Roofs, Doucette, Holmes, Paquette, Helt in the top 20. Babel, Brown, McMillan, Gutta, your first 4 drivers outside the top 20. Looking to get in. You want drama? You're in the right place. Not a good restart as Brotherton goes to the middle and bodies over the outside. Butler covers the bottom. Keister on those 4 tires, struggling for traction as the leaders pull away.
They're 3 wide. Simple file here pretty soon. Garrett Smithley's up on the outside of him there. Oh,
caution on the track. Justin Malillo, no. Haven't even mentioned Justin Malillo all night. I knew his strategy coming in was to lay back, play it safe. He was in 26 on the restart in contact that's not even of his doing between Marcus Lindsay again. Up the middle and turns Jared Wishin into Malillo. That's the second move up the middle that doesn't go for Marcus Lindsay.
Being aggressive. I'm glad you mentioned it. We haven't mentioned Justin Malillo much tonight. And he was such a great story through the prelims, making it in, and after getting involved in some altercations on the racetrack, having to get some damage fixed, and then was able to fight back into it. Oh, he was just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
When you're in Justin's spot, you get hit like that. What was that? Where did he come from?
You never even sensed it, felt it. Suddenly you're just being spun out,
Yeah.
Oh. That's the worst.
That's such a heartbreaker for Justin too. I mean,
just
he's not out of it. I mean, we've seen worse looking cars come back up through the pack. Isaac Gann, P4 with no front end on the car basically as we go on board here.
That's a great example because you're just minding your own business. On the bottom, your spotter's saying 3 wide, and suddenly that car that was at the top of 3 wide is in your door, and you're going for a ride. Great replay by our production crew there.
So
that was awesome.
have we seen the big one yet? I mean,
nope.
How many more do you need?
Well, I mean, we've seen these 3, 4, 5, I guess.
Yeah. No, you're right. We haven't seen the big one in this one. I don't know. I think we worked ourselves through some of the,
I'm still
when we
nervous
jumbled
for
everyone up.
These restarts make me nervous. I mean, you got so many cars mixed up on tires. People could be racing aggressively. I mean, just as a barometer, I mean, looking at Brian Blackford in P15. That's not where I'd want to be. I'd want to be in the top 10. I know he's probably got 4 tires on it, but that restart, I mean, you had so many guys 3 wide in the top 10.
Look at Brian Mercurio on board here as he gets through this wreck. Justin Malillo, ooh, back up in front and barely misses him. Nice heads-up driving.
Wow.
Brian Mercurio, remember Mercurio, not too long ago was spun around down the back straightaway and has recovered up now into the... Where's Brian Mercurio? He scored in the 31st position, but could have been a lot worse if he smacked Justin Malillo right there.
Gonna welcome the Casey Kerwin crew into the show here. It's not
welcome.
too late to check in on the eRacr Predictor and make your picks for this last 5-lap dash. It's probably everybody else's picks have been messed up so many times. I think you could probably pick the top 5 and pick the winner and probably turn out okay. I went and moved Isaac Gann out of my slots.
I did
in the race.
I moved him out as well. I sacrificed a ton of points, not thinking he'd ever get back there. Now he's totally back up there, so I've sacrificed about half the possible points. But for all of you just joining from Casey Kerwin's stream, if you just play the Predictor, check in right now, even though the race is about to end, you will be entered into giveaways, so just get your name on the board, basically. And then join us all back here for next Wednesday for the Carnomaly 500. We'll have the Predictor going as well. You'll be able to rack up a ton of points.
Look at that spushed up Chevy.
I don't like.
It's not a good-looking front end there, but it's still fast enough to be in the top 5.
It's got the right colors and the right sponsor. Not the right amount of damage, though. No damage is fine.
I agree.
Cheaper. But the great thing about virtual racing, David, you know what it is?
Parker. You don't have
What
to
is
pay to
the
fix
great
it.
thing?
What's that?
You don't have to pay to fix it.
Bingo. Exactly. If we can figure that out in real life.
You don't have to make the long drive to the body shop there by the cookout in Concord, North Carolina to get your stuff fixed.
Yep.
So we've got another late race restart. It's almost like these two races mimicked each other. For 150 points, let's see a green-white checker. Will there be a green-white checker?
Will there?
This isn't a green-white checker right here.
Get your
Will
Predictor
there
app
be
up.
a green-white checker?
Get it up. I made my pick.
Lock this in pretty.
I was wrong last time. I'm not going to be wrong twice.
I was wrong as well.
Or will I? All
I hope
right,
we
Blake
can-
Reynolds. Going to be your control car. Dylan Alt to his outside. Garrett Maines, Isaac Gann, Overland, Butler, Smithley, Keister, Brotherton, Bolin, your top 10. See if we get a little bit better restart out of these guys this time. Green flag back in the air. They're going. Keister on those 4 tires right to the back bumper. Butler, nowhere to go.
Fairly clean. I'm just watching towards the back. Fighting for the transfer spot. That's where it can get really intense. On board with Isaac Gann right now. He slots to the
wide
bottom.
down the
That's
backstretch.
start all that damage.
Alt in the middle, Overland up top. Don't know about Overland moving up to top there. Now Butler to the middle. Overland sticks it. Overland by himself, 3 wide around the top, is going to get Dylan Alt and lead that outside lane. That's a power move.
That was absolutely amazing.
That is 100% commitment to the throttle for Chris Overland, and it pays off to lead the outside lane.
Oh, there's the transfer spot. Up at the top right.
You can feel the intensity ratcheting up to 10 now. Overland side by side with Reynolds. out of 4, the Trans-Service Transfer Cam in the top right-hand corner of your screen. 2 laps to go, 5 miles of racing at Daytona.
So tight up in the front. Well,
I mean, this
they're
is where all
racing
the
so hard. The 3 wide again off the 2 right behind Isaac.
and they
Dylan
just
Auld up into the
refuse
wall.
to settle in.
Dylan Auld up into the wall and fading down the back straightaway, trying to get back in line, but that's going to compromise a transfer spot for him.
And on the bubble. Brian Blackford is on that bubble as well.
Christopher Will
White
right
flag.
there.
One
White
more
flag.
lap at Daytona.
No green white
No
checker.
green, white
Let's
checker.
get this. Let's get the transfer spot. We gotta.
He's got a race
Right
in the
now.
front, race in the middle.
McMillan, the 20th car. In the number 3, Goodwrench. Machine at Daytona. 1 car down low under the yellow line as the field scatters. That's Graham Boland slow up against the wall. Will this affect Boland's eligibility to get into the top 20? Back to the gas they go into 3 and 4. Overland takes the lead away. They wreck behind. Cole Freilich around out of 4 they come. Who's going to be in 20th? To the line, Chris Overland wins the race. 20th is going to be Mac McMillan.
Wow.
We'll get a quick replay there of the win. We had to watch who was going to make it through in the transfer spot. McMillan does a great job doing that. There was an epic battle at the lane, but we had to make the choice. Let's get that replay here, what that finish was like.
Overland by a comfortable margin over Reynolds and Keister.
They were side by
As
side.
Christopher Weil. Weil will be 21st unofficially.
Wow, after all that strategy he played, he did such a great job that he comes up 1 spot short. Oh, it's devastating. What an aggressive run by Chris Overland. The top side pass, 3 wide. That was epic. You called it perfectly, David, what he done there. Just such a power move, so much aggression. I'd be watching him to be one of the absolute favorites going into the Carnomaly 500. Just on pure ability to make moves and make them work, make them happen. Awesome job by Chris Overland.
Unbelievable drive. That for me, that's the move of the race, and he gets the win for his troubles. Overland over Keister, Reynolds, Maines, Gann, the top 5. Isaac Gann drags a destroyed race car to a P5 to make it to next week's Carnomaly 500. Sean Butler makes it. Garrett Smithley with the recovery after the spin. Liam Brotherton, Kyle Putz, Justin Bolton, the top 10. Let's look at 11th through 20th. Nicholas Morris, Ryan Doucette, Logan Helton, Blake Cisneros, Timmy Holmes, Dylan Ault, Graham Boland, David Brown, Brian Blackford, and Mac McMillan holds on for the 20th and final transfer spot as Overland burns it down on the front straightaway. And if we look at the rest of the results, that move by Chris Overland, impressive.
So awesome. Christopher Weil there, Marcus Lindsay, Cole Freilich, who's been such an exciting story through this whole thing. Ryan Naraki, who did this awesome strategy. Doesn't make it
Christopher
in.
Overland, how in the world did you stick that 3 wide around the top?
Woo! Boys, I am excited. I knew we had a really good car, man. I woke up at 5 in the morning because I got tired. I really wanted to go out here and win something. I'm super excited. At the end there, I knew everybody was on 2 tires. I got so much adrenaline, I can't even speak. And I just thought, we're on fresh tires. I haven't tried this before, 3 wide top. I want to put on a show for everybody. I don't care about top 20. I wanted to win, and I knew I had my eRacr Predictor as me as the winner, and I really wanted that bobblehead. So, man, the car was really good. I want to thank all the guys that worked on it. Ray Alfala, Connor Babel didn't make it. Brandon Cattell, obviously the base from Brian Blackford. The secret's out, but I put about 7 hours into this race setup today, so I'm gonna call this one mine.
Well, dude, it was an awesome job there. I love how pumped you are for good reason. That was an incredible move around the outside. How worried were you when you saw those different cars on 2 tires, no tires? Did you think, man, this could be really interesting? Like, if this restart goes all sorts of crazy. How am I going to make it through this? Was that worrying you at all?
Well, it worried me at first, but we had about 4 or 5 tries at it. So by the last one, I was pretty confident that I could get around everybody. And, I think it really speaks to how good our car is. I think Ray's going to be strong on Wednesday. Cattell, Kyle, Jake Nichols is going to be strong. Because right there at the end, nobody would push me. And then Colin came up there, and Colin gave me just what I needed to get clear. And man, this thing's fast.
How did you play the Predictor and drive? You were leading the Predictor after the first battle tonight, and now you played it while you were racing as well?
Well, so I set my lineup before, while we were pacing. Actually, I put it on my left monitor, and I set my lineup while we were pacing. We had 3 pace laps there, so I just did what I could. I know that you guys are really pushing the Predictor, and it's really fun. So as much as I love racing, I really wanted to play the Predictor as well. So you guys are doing a great job with that. It really, there's a sense of competition, and I'm a competitor, and I hope I won.
Well,
I don't even know.
I gotta let you know, you were the highest scorer tonight. You literally won it. You won
Take
twice.
that, Landon.
Yeah, nice job, Chris. Yeah, you're gonna get a prize. You're gonna get some giveaways from us as well for being the top scorer for tonight. Chris, what does your car need for next Wednesday? What do you need to do? Obviously, you got a great starting position now. But what do you need to do?
Well, I may be giving away a couple of secrets here, but early in the run, we were definitely fast enough to lead, myself and Kyle. But we were just too loose out front, so we're gonna probably. I just kind of strategically sat around until I felt like my right front was hot enough to go out there and go to the front. But right there at the end, we had enough laps to where I didn't have to worry about it. I was wide open the entire end of that run. So the car is really, really good. I just either got to get better at driving it, or I got to sit behind somebody for a little while.
Chris, it's been a tough couple of weeks. I know you're racing with a heavy heart. You come out here, you get a win in the Blue Emu Battle. You lock yourself in to a second row start for the Carnomaly 500. What's it all mean to you right now?
Yeah, man. From having no power and the snowstorm, I didn't even know if I was going to be able to race this race. And thankfully, I was able to get into my prelim. This one's for my mom. I don't win many of these big events. This is probably the biggest one I've ever won. So, I lost her at the end of January. So this one definitely goes out to her. And also, David, this one goes out to you, man. You've been around for a long time. You have always believed in me. And the fact that I'm getting to talk to you, it kind of feels like a Darrell Waltrip-like situation.
Well, first driver I ever spotted for in the now iRacing, Coca-Cola iRacing series. And it's sweet to talk to you now in Victory Lane here for the Blue Emu Battle Race number 2. Look forward to seeing you do great things next Wednesday night for the Carnomaly 500. Congratulations.
Hey, thank you, guys. You guys are doing a great job. I can't wait to get back into it.
Congrats, bud. Thank you.
Great job, Chris.
Well, Landon,
Chris Overland.
We got to. That was awesome. I loved his enthusiasm, how excited he was, and also he's a multitasker apparently to be able to play the Predictor and do that. But we gotta give someone else away.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we got to figure out who's got the most battle scars from tonight, the second Blue Emu Battle 150. And I've already seen AJ in the chat, Controller King in the chat. Cole Freilich is getting a couple of votes, it looks like. But
who gets the battle scar pack? Let's see.
Who deserves it? I know who my vote is. Man, that was hard to see. Just three tough hits in a row for AJ. And his car getting damaged. He survived it. He got himself back up close to the top 20. You could tell he was just sitting there. So I'm gonna give it to AJ.
It's AJ. I was gonna put in a vote. I was gonna put in a vote for Christopher Wilde, but it's AJ. I agree. So,
yep. Put the Blue Emus in the chat. Thank you, Blue Emus, so much. We got battle scars. Make sure exclamation point. Battle scars as well. Blue Emu's got a giveaway going. I'm not sure when it ends. It might have ended already. We might have a winner. I'm not sure. We've got to announce somebody. So exclamation point battle scars. Blue Emu, thanks a lot for coming on board for the Blue Emu Battle 150s.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Couldn't do it without him. Parker, closing thoughts?
Well, I think tonight we saw that definitely the bottom was dominant, but we'll see what the weather conditions are for next week. It could be entirely different, maybe hotter and slicker, and could possibly open up that second groove. But most of all, I think the coolest thing tonight was just that we saw some great racing when we were green flag, and that gets me very excited for what we're going to see in the Carnomaly 500 next week. It's pretty epic seeing these cars go this fast around here. I'm enjoying it. I'm jealous not to be racing in it, to be honest, but I think that what we're seeing is definitely going to carry over into a 500-mile race into uncharted territories. Remember, Brian Blackford said it best. No one has done a 500-mile race of this magnitude in these cars at Daytona. Be there next Wednesday. It's going to be epic.
Well, we're not jumping straight ahead to Wednesday, Landon. Now, are we? We do have one more piece of business to get to on the racetrack before we get to the Carnomaly 500. What are we doing tomorrow?
Well, we're gonna have some fun. I mean, we had so many people register for this event. We had prelims that were wild. They were a lot of fun. And by the way, as it turns out, you guys didn't let me race in a prelim, so I do want to do some racing. So we're gonna have some drivers. We're gonna get a group together. We're gonna put a big old server of drivers together tomorrow night, and you're gonna see one more bonus race tomorrow night right here on eRacr GG on Twitch, and it's gonna be a pretty unique collaboration on the broadcast. It's not gonna look like this. It's gonna look like something you guys might be a little more familiar with. It's going to be an interesting collaboration. I don't even know if our producers have any content supporting it. So if they do, that would be kind of cool. But I think tomorrow, I'm not sure what time even. Have we even picked a time?
I don't know if we picked a time. It's
stay tuned to the socials. That's all I'll say is stay tuned to the eRacr socials, especially on Twitter. We have graphics, I'm told, but stay tuned to the socials anyways.
There it is.
The Moon Split 200 presented by eRacr made this logo in 5 minutes. That's the entire race name. You will not want to miss this race. I'll be in it. I'll be driving.
Yes.
But Moon Vision, Travis Brown, Moonhead, we love them. Bottom Split collaboration. It's just a kickback, hangout, enjoy. I'll be wearing my fire suit because it's Fire Suit Friday. It's going to be an awesome event.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. The Moon Split 200. If you were in the Carnomaly 500 prelims, you are likely invited to this event. We've got a lot of demand for it, so we're trying to get through a lot of people to get them into one server and put on a good show. The Moon Split 200. David, what do we got going on next week?
Well, next week, it all comes to a head. The Carnomaly 500, finally, the last step of this journey, the premier event, what we've all been waiting for. One driver, Nick Ottinger, will start from pole position. No, he won't, because he's going to the back to try and win $18,000 in the last to first challenge presented by Wits Racing Products. And he'll be joined by a cast of 42 other drivers as they take place in a 500-mile race. Open setups next Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here, twitch.tv/eRacrGG. You do not want to miss that race. If you've been watching all the way up to this point, we will be taking attendance. And if you're not there, we will know, and you will get a letter from us. But make sure you come back next Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, eRacr Predictor. Get your fifth and final check-in. Try and take down Landon. Everything's going to be on the line. 43 drivers, $3,000 to win, an extra $15,000 to Nick Ottinger if he can do it. Cannot wait to see everybody then. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Blue Emu Battle 150s. For Landon Cassill, Parker Kligerman, and Kim Kuhn, I'm David Schildhouse. Y'all have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow for the Moon Split 200.